Perkins Online, the Thinking Person's talk show. Now here's your host, Wilmot Mutty Perkins.
Morning, everybody. Morning, and welcome once again to Perkins Online. The West Indies are at it again against New Zealand, and I gather they're now at what? 79 for 3, with 21 overs gone. So they're coming up to half the number of overs, and they've lost 3 wickets and 79 runs on the board. Well, we'll see what happens. But they have to try to give a boost to the PNP. They need a boost. Okay, let's get on to more serious matters. You know, a large part of the problem that we have in this country is that we were granted self-government by the British colonial power. And it seems to me that we were inadequately prepared for self-government, because we were trying and continue to try to govern ourselves, and we do not as a people understand the purpose of what government is there for, what government is there to do and to ensure. We don't understand it. We never thought it through, and our leaders never thought it through. Yesterday we had on this program a series of discussions about homosexuality. And after this program was over, the other program came on. The discussion continued. A lot of people ranting about homosexuality. The issue is not really one of homosexuality. It is one of rights, and it is one that has to do with the limits, what limits should there be upon the power of government. I have over and over made the point on this program that, as far as I know, the best definition of government that exists was provided by Thomas Jefferson in the Declaration of Independence of the United States. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Remember that? We are all equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. We have all of us rights that are inalienable. In other words, they cannot be taken from us legitimately. Among these are the right to life, to liberty, and to the pursuit of happiness. And that it is to secure these rights that governments are instituted among men. So the primary object of government is to secure the rights of its citizens, bearing in mind that its citizens are all equal None is more equal than the other. And among the rights that the government is to secure is the right to liberty. Liberty equals freedom. Freedom equals the right to choose. For myself, for yourself, for each one of us has the right to make his own choices. Which way he's going to go. Is he going to go up Constant Spring Road? Or is he going to go around, Grants Pen or wherever? And not just in such trifling matters, in all matters to do with his own life. So the limitation upon there is a limitation. Well, the government obviously has to have a power if we're going to live in a society of law and order. And we need a society of law and order. The question arises whether the government can impose whatever law it chooses, or whether there must be limitations upon the power of government to impose upon the freedom, the liberty of the citizen. And it is my position that there is such a limitation, that the government should have no power to impose limits upon the choices that I can make, that you can make, that any citizen of this country can make, except to the extent that that choice, that the making of such a choice would impose upon the rights of other citizens. Right? I cannot, in an ordered society, which we need in order to a lawful and ordered society, I cannot make the choice to take your life, to stab you in the chest or shoot you, or I cannot be allowed the right to make such a choice. Right? Except in certain very limited circumstances. But I should be free to make any choice that does not in any way trespass upon the rights of other persons. And that is the issue. That is the issue. Government should not have any right to impose whatever I may think of what you choose to do. That is not what is important. The only question is, in doing that, are you in any way imposing upon my rights or the rights of any other citizen? And this is, in my view, a very important issue. And as I said before, it affects not only the question of sexuality, it affects a lot of other things. In 1919, for example, the government of the United States chose, contrary to that profoundly important principle of its own Declaration of Independence, the government of the United States decided to make it unlawful for persons within the United States to drink alcoholic beverages. They made it a crime to drink a glass of whiskey. Right? A foolish decision, in my view. And ultimately, about less than 20 years later, about 12, 13 years later, they accepted that this. Now, what is wrong with that decision? Obviously, if I decide to pour some whiskey into my own body, right? Not drenching you with whiskey or drenching some other person with whiskey. Drenching myself with whiskey. What business is that of anybody else but myself? Right? Why should I not be free to put what I choose into my body? And if I can't make that decision, how can I be said to be free? Well, it turned out to be absurd and unenforceable. And they abandoned it somewhere about 1932. We take a break. We come back in a moment. Okay, thank you very much. We're back online. West Indies, 88 for 4. Chris Gale gone, but Lara's still there. 88 for 4. I wonder how many overs. We must have gone more than 25 overs. 25 overs. 88 for 4. Not looking very good, is it? Yes, to come back to that matter just for a moment. The Americans, having abandoned the alcohol prohibition, have gone into prohibition of other drugs. And it has caused more problems than it has solved. Right? And after 1930 to now is what? 1935, about 60 years. After 60 years, the problem seems to be worse than when they started on it. Right? And it is imposing problems in our country too. We are locking up people for smoking ganja. Right? Where is the evidence that smoking ganja, if I decided to smoke ganja, that it would affect? I mean, if you want to prohibit smoking ganja and driving a motor car, that's an entirely different thing. Right? While under the influence of the ganja. Totally, with alcohol. Right? But why should I, if I decide to smoke some ganja, why should the police be able to lock me up in jail? What have I done to anybody else? And we have another law. A law that limits free speech. There are certain words that if you utter them in a public place and a policeman hears you, he'll lock you up. Right? Why? What sense does that make? It is utter rubbish and a total imposition upon the people of this country. An unwarranted imposition. And if we really, you see the point when you listen to some of these discussions regarding homosexuality, for example, it is quite clear that people in this country that there are so many people who do not understand what the process of government should be about. Right? Anyway, let's leave that behind us. I gather that 4 persons were killed in Jonestown last night. Gunmen kicked down their doors and shot them dead. And in addition to that, there were 3 others murdered there yesterday. A lot of violence have been going on in that South St. Andrew constituency. A lot of violence, and for quite some time. But fortunately, the police haven't decided to treat the people of Jonestown as they have on a number of occasions treated the people of Tivoli, right? And as they seem ready to treat those people of Tivoli again. There is a story in the papers. Well, we have been hearing it over the news all evening. A man was shot in the vicinity, we are told, of the Denham Town police station. Yesterday, he went to the station. He was on bail, and he went to the station to fulfill a condition of his bail, reporting to the police. And just as he was leaving the station in a taxi, driven by a taxi man, and with his wife with him, another car crashed, and it is suggested that this was done deliberately into his car, into the car, the taxi in which he was traveling. 4 men got out of the car and shot the persons, all 3 persons in the car, shot them dead. They had high-powered weapons, M16s and so we are told, M16s and I think there was 1 handgun. And then we are told the men disappeared. Here is what the Observer says. That 3 of the shooters then made their escape through the cemetery, the Maypen Cemetery, while the 4th sped off in the silver Toyota in the direction of Tivoli Gardens community, in the direction of the Tivoli Gardens community. Now, what does that mean? Is that suggesting that 3 of them ran through the cemetery, and I wonder where they ran to. But the suggestion seems to be that this these gunmen came out of Tivoli Gardens. I get the impression that the case is being built up for another invasion of Tivoli. With the election coming up, that is something that we must expect. The other leading story yesterday, or it's the leading story in the Gleaner, is the Gleaner is calling it a brawl, but it involved a stabbing by one student and of another who is, I believe, now in hospital. And I think that some 10 students, if I'm not, I think that's the number, some huge, significant number of students are now in police custody, being questioned, I suppose, is the usual term. And there's been a lot of there have been a lot of these incidents happening in schools recently. It really is disgraceful. And it is happening, yes, in traditional high schools, and with more serious effect because there's been a couple of cases in which deaths have occurred. But what the devil is going on? I hear a lot of talk about the need for more discipline in the schools and so on and so on and so forth. Right? But could I ask a question? How can we have discipline in our schools if we don't have discipline in our society? If there is anarchy in the society, how do we have order in the schools? Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the land. A couple of years ago, our then Prime Minister told us that the law is not a shackle. And in the context in which he said it, the meaning was clear. He was under no obligation to obey or to respect and obey the law. So why should we be surprised if youngsters in going to the Kingston Technical High School and to other schools of the sort have no respect for law, for regulation, for order? We take a break. We come back in a moment. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. And I'm asking the question, why should school children be expected to respect and obey the law if the society is dissolving into anarchy? And people who are a lot older than they, people who have high status in the society, are seen to be disrespecting and disregarding law. In pursuit of their own advantage. things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Right? I've been telling you that for a long time. Why are these children to be expected? What is it that you're going to do to make these children respect and obey law when they see around them a widespread disregard for the law? You know, we were driving down this morning, right? And it happens all the time, right? Some person decides to cross the road. The traffic is moving and they just move across the road and dare you to hit them, knock them down, right? This keeps happening. This is the kind, and children, school children are doing the same thing. Mr. Pickersgill told us, we always think that it is best for the country for us to form the administration. So anything that will lead us or cause us to be in office, we regard as being best for the country and in the best interest of the country. Whatever the law might say, right? If this thing will help us to get into power, then we're going to have to use it. Right? We have to deal with the fundamental issues. And don't think that we're going to bring up children. And look here, the other foolish thing that is being done is an attempt to put the blame on parents. That is utter nonsense. Right? The parents can, yes, have they have an important role in the upbringing of children. But they can't bring up those children against the morality that pervades the society, the immorality that pervades the society, against the anarchy that pervades the society. Right? They live in the society. They are influenced by they are constrained by the rules of the society. And if the rules of the society are that you must obey the law, and that you must do what is right and so on, then parents can influence their children into that pattern of behavior. But if the society is operating on the principle that the law is a damn waste of time, man, don't bother with that, man. Man formed the house, take the gun and shoot him. Right? And if political leaders are known to be involved in that kind of thing, and to encourage gangs in their constituencies and that kind of thing, and to break the law in order to secure power for themselves, and to use power when they have it, not in the interest of the country and its people. Right? Told us, be careful that we don't get into a kleptocracy. But of course they're late. Right? We have been there for years. That is the kind of rotten society that these children are being brought up in. And I hear leading teachers, people who should be thinking and should be understanding and helping to make the society understand these things. Talking rubbish about expelling children and this, that, the other, and so on. How is that going to help? How is it going to help? You know, if a society dissolves into anarchy, the attempt to impose punishment may have the consequence of worsening crime. Okay. Okay. There is one other issue. Mr. K.D. Knight said something recently with which I agree, about removing the GCT from fees paid by clients to lawyers. Particularly, I believe, I'm not sure whether it applies in criminal cases. I think I heard in a discussion yesterday afternoon on Nationwide involving Mr. Frank Phipps, Mr. Delroy Chuck, and another lawyer, Mr. Green. There was I'm not sure whether the GCT applies in criminal cases. But you know, a number of issues were raised. I gather that in Britain, for example, they when somebody is brought to court on a criminal charge and acquitted, the state reimburses his legal fees. Why is that not done in Jamaica? Poor people have one hell of a time trying to get justice in Jamaica. And one of the problems is that the poor man cannot afford to pay a lawyer for his defense. There is a legal aid system, right? But it has its limitations. Now, why should the government, if the government charges you, or the state charges you with an offense, and it turns out that you are not guilty of that offense, why should you you realize what if you have pay a lawyer to get you acquitted, or to manage your case in court, you're acquitted. You realize that what is happening is, if you're found guilty, you are either fined or sent to prison or fined, right? But in any event, you're going to pay another fine, right? You're going to pay the fine of a lawyer's fee. And if you are not guilty, you're going to be out of pocket several $1,000s. Right? And in the case of civil matters, for example, the matter of libel, somebody sues you for libel, you're going to have to respond. You have to put up a defense and so on, right? And this means briefing a lawyer and paying a lawyer's fee, even if the matter subsequently does not go to court, does not go to trial, right? The most honorable Michael Manley died, leaving me about, I can't remember what it was, about 60 odds, nearly $70,000 out of pocket. Right? Sued me for libel. Couldn't go through with it. Right? But it cost me about $70,000. So I was punished, although it was not established that I had libeled him. Now, if you go to court and win, if you go to court in a civil matter and win, the court awards costs. But the costs do not, very often do not come anywhere near to the actual fees that you had to pay. And they're not looking at that. They're not interested in ensuring that the person who was wrongly taken to court, or who, did damage to somebody, and for which the matter was brought to court and is found guilty, it is found that damage was in fact done, right? An amount is awarded, but and costs are awarded, but the costs are unrealistic. And some lawyers are making it possible for people to go to court with matters like this by doing the case on the basis of contingency. We take a break. We come back shortly. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here, 128 for 5. Laura's still there, though. So, we'll see what happens. And about 17 overs to go. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we were talking about lawyers taking cases on the basis of what is called contingency. You pay a proportion. If they go to court, if you go to court, you win, you're awarded damages by the court. They take a proportion of the damages by way for their fees, the fees that you weren't able to afford. Now, there is something fundamentally unjust about this. Somebody damages you or your property. You take the matter to court. The court agrees that this person did damage to you or to your property and awards damages. Let us say $1 million. The court is saying that the damage that person did to you is worth $1 million in damages. And then out of that $1 million in damages, you're going to have to pay your lawyer. Which means that you do not come away with the amount of damages that the court thought the damage done to you was worth. And a court does that and think that it's doing justice. We have some very serious problems in this country. Very serious problems. And part of our problem, at the basis of it, is an unwillingness to think. We're not thinking. Anyway, I've chatted enough. Let's go to our telephone callers. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
I am a frustrated Jamaican.
A frustrated Jamaican?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I've been trying to collect his NIS pension that I think is due to me.
Uh-huh.
I made application from 2004.
Uh-huh.
And to date, every time I go to the office, I run around. I can't get from this agency and the other agency, and I am at my wit's end. I don't know what to do next.
Well, sir, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. This is a society that, we have we have as a people no interest in justice. We're not concerned with justice, right? Because justice would require that if you, while you worked, contributed to this pension fund on the basis that when you retired, you would be getting a pension to help you to carry on your life. And when the time comes, you can't get anywhere. They can't, you keep appealing to them and they just ignore your appeals, right? And you retired in when? 2004.
Yes, I stopped working from 1990.
From 19 when?
90.
From 1990? Yes. But I'm now due it because I was working from before the national insurance came in. I was a sugar worker and I was contributed to one fund there. That fund was incorporated into the NIS. Yes.
And I worked right up to 1990. Thereafter, I've been on my own.
Yes.
So I think I have put in enough time, and I've worked with a lot of them were sort of government agencies.
Well, why should you not then be paid a pension should have been paid as of 1990?
Well, I never applied for it until 2004 when I was of age.
I see. Oh, I see. When you were of age.
Right. Now I am 60. Will be 67 in another couple of weeks. So I think it is due to me.
2004.
Yes.
That's 3 years ago, roughly.
Yes, that's 3 years ago I applied.
And you haven't heard anything from them?
No, I went to the office. That's over in Spanish Town, and I don't know if it's my bad luck.
Judgment thou art fed to brutish beasts, and men have lost.
I don't know if it's my bad luck, Mr. Perkins, but I used to work with United Fruit Company, then Bernard Lodge, then the Sugar Workers Co-op.
Yes.
I work with West Indies Sugar Company, then Ray and Neville. That's the last place, and nobody can...
Now. Hold on a little bit. They are now worried about boys at Kingston Technical School, right? And other such schools resorting to violence, right? Now, this implies a lack of respect for the law, for the rules. Am I right?
Yes.
Now, when that boy hears the story that you are telling, is he to conclude that his seniors and those in positions of authority have any greater respect for the law than he has?
No, Mr. Perkins, he wants to carve out his own thing now. I was really flabbergasted when I heard Mr. Latouche telling you about the crap that everybody who for NIS, they're getting their pension and blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I wonder where he got that information
from. Well, I don't know.
From.
But then you know what also is happening. There is what is said to be a surplus in the NIS, right? Which they plan to use to secure political advantage.
No, but Mr. Perkins, anybody who is in politics,
yes.
I am still able to vote. I am not an invalid. And the point is that every time election come around, somebody come to my house, and it does make it look like this country not really working for us. It's working for them.
Well, of course.
Mr. Perkins, it's really frustrated, and at this stage of my life, when I think I have contributed enough, not even the minimal I have qualified for.
But even if you get the pension, sir, what is the pension going to buy you? It can't buy you food for the week.
It can't buy 2 loaves of bread, but the point is, Mr. Perkins, if there's $1 due to me, give me my $1.
Yes, indeed.
That's what is there for me. You don't deny me that every time I go here, they can't find this file and the other file. That is not my problem.
Yeah.
My problem that I put in the time, the contributions were taken, and I expect that at this time I would be getting what is due to me. It's heart-rending, Mr. Perkins.
It is heart-rending.
Heart-rending.
Yes.
And whatever else you have, no matter how much money you have this day, another dollar helps.
Quite true. And you're entitled to it.
I'm entitled to it.
Right? But there is no respect for your entitlement because there is no respect for the law. Right?
None.
And not only that, if you get it, it is not going to be what it could have been because they are claiming that they have $42 billion of surplus in the fund. And they're taking money out of that to go and lend out to poor entrepreneurs.
But
in the hope, I suppose, of buying their votes.
My contribution is in there, Mr. Perkins.
I know that. And some of those monies are monies to which you would be entitled.
Yes.
Yes, well. We're a society descended into anarchy.
Mr. Perkins,
right?
This is not a nice country to live in.
And when you see, sir, when you were a youngster, did you hear of schoolboys stabbing each other and
no, sir, that was heard of. That was heard of.
And holding up female teachers?
No, sir. No. All throughout my days when one murder happened in the country, that was the talk of the
what
day.
a hell of a thing that was.
Yes.
Right?
I
remember the days when a murder would be across the front page of the Gleaner.
Yes, sir.
Right?
I remember.
Headline. I remember the days when the parish of Hanover judges would go down there to conduct to circuit court.
Yes.
Right? And they would go through the formula of opening the court and closing it.
Yes.
Because there were no cases for them to try.
That's correct, sir. That's correct. And you know, Mr. Perkins.
Yes.
Yeah, they talk. All the politicians talk. And you wonder.
Hold on just a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online.
Yes, Mr.
148 for 5. How many overs left to go? About 12 overs to go. That doesn't look like 300 runs. I wonder if the government is going to get a boost from this match today. 14 overs to go. Yes. All right. 14 overs to go. You think they're going to get a boost?
I don't think so. There's one important thing, you know, Mr. Perkins.
Yes.
When you speak for your right, you are either termed a troublemaker or you are not with the system.
Yes.
Right? And then you become a mark man. But I guess I have lived a long time already. And
yes,
I don't know which way I'm going to go. But I think, you know, there comes a time when each and every one of us have to speak for what we think is just and what we think is right. And I think what I'm speaking about is due to me. And I hope that, you know, like I said, when you speak for your right, maybe those who are looking about...
But remember too, you know, sir, that it is not just your rights that are involved. Right?
Yes.
The rights of a lot of other people, of all the people of Jamaica, are involved.
I realize that,
right?
Mr. Perkins.
In one way or another. Some of them are people who, like you, should be getting pensions and are not getting them.
Right.
Or are getting pensions that are far below where they ought to be.
Correct.
Right? Others of them are people who, in various other ways, are deprived.
Right. Mr. Perkins, I wonder if I was somebody in managerial position and I am getting this sort of a runaround, what the hell would another ordinary worker, what would they do with him? I guess they'd step on him and crush him like a fly.
Brian Lara's gone.
Well, Mr. Perkins,
150 for 6.
the whole thing now is the whole cricket scene is playing out our whole lifestyle. We're not applying ourselves
No.
to the task at hand.
No.
And we can't live off the past. We have to live for today.
Yes. And, so there are men whom we call national heroes who let us down very badly.
Oh, sure, sir, sure. When you check them out, if you check what they were given all this accolades about.
Yes, indeed.
No warrant for it.
Yes. Anyway,
thank you very much,
all the
Mr.
best
Perkins.
to you. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Perkins.
Morning to you, Mum.
I was listening to your conversation with the man on the phone about his pension.
Yes.
I don't know. I hope he's still listening.
You hope what?
I hope he is still listening.
Yes.
Because I have a little information, and I assume it's accurate because I checked something out for somebody the other day.
Yes.
They changed the rules, you know.
Oh?
A woman can apply 65. She can retire at 65.
Yes.
They changed it. It used to be men as well, but they make men have to work until 70.
Are you serious?
And contribute. Hang on, let me finish. And continue to contribute to NIS until you're 70. Probably that's why the man can't get through. He's caught in between rules and whatever. The other thing I'd like.
So they just arbitrarily train. Hold on a little bit.
Yeah.
Hold on. You go into an arrangement, right? When you are 25, and you go through until you are 65, and the rules as you understood them, right? Or the rules when you started out and when you were 3/4 way through, said that you would then get you would be eligible for a pension at 65. When you get to 65, you hear that they have changed the rules, right? So the contract that you thought you were in, is not the contract that you are now in, according to them.
Mr. Perkins, Jamaicans must understand something. In their country, right, it is a common thing for things to change overnight.
Yes.
And the people put up with it. But the fact is, if you have to battle for everything, but you can't give up. And the fact that this man is ringing and talking about his pension, he's obviously getting nowhere. But if he gets a new form, goes to the NIS office and collects a new form, he will see all instructions, and he will see that you have to be 70.
Yes, but
and here's the joke.
No, but
hang on, they're not finished yet, you know. You're allowed to work part-time, right, after you get your pension. But the other thing is, the NHT, when you're 65, they're starting to tell people when they're 65 they can claim back their NHT. So the man, if he's been paying NHT, he can go in and see them. It's a lot of rigmarole, right? I won't even go into what they ask you. In fact, I'll tell you what they do. We all put in returns, Mr. Perkins, with different staff on it, right? But when the time comes to claim something, they're asking you to write a letter to them. In other words, their record keeping here is not so hot, You're expecting...
No, I don't think that is it.
But I'm telling you, that's what happens here.
No, I think that they're just...
The man with his NIS, he would have to write... I'm telling
you... They're just putting obstacles in your path.
I'm trying to tell you, the man that is applying for his pension, he has to put in a letter...
But the question that I'm raising, Mum, is whether that is because their record keeping is not what it should be, or whether it is because they're putting obstacles in his path.
Oh, well, yeah, you're right there, of course, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to be kind, because we live, we get up every day, and there's always going to be some battle for something.
Yes.
But I'm trying to be helpful, because the man is obviously frustrated, but sometimes you ask people questions in some of these government offices, and if you're not careful, you get different information. He simply has to start again. Go and get the form again. Apply again. Well, he can't apply until he's 70. You with me now?
Yes.
But they ask you to apply a little bit
the
before 70.
yes, I know. You are preoccupied with the procedure. But I am saying that this man, when
I'm
he's...
trying to get the man. I'm trying to help the man get what he needs to get. He can talk to you until doomsday and nothing will happen. So I'm suggesting he goes...
But do you think that is how things should remain?
No, of course not, Mr. Perkins.
So
I know already that I should run this country. I know that already. Right? I know already. My husband tells me that already because, you know, we come from societies where we try to, obey the law and blah, blah, blah. This morning on the radio, on Ronnie Thwaites' program, is a strange story, right? People ring Ronnie Thwaites and this woman, this lawyer, on about immigration going to America. Do you know that somebody took somebody else's name and gone to America with false documents? And then they're asking this woman, right, who's a lawyer, to show them how they can get status in America. I mean, you can't keep breaking the law and expect things to work for you, can you, Mr. Perkins?
Well, I don't know. We are in the habit of breaking the law here in Jamaica.
No, but Mr. Perkins, you don't break the law. That's why we love you. You don't break the law. That's why we love and respect you.
Well,
because
maybe.
you're the only man in this country that...
Maybe I'd be better off if I were prepared to break the law.
You're being silly now. We know that's not true. There is nothing on this earth that will make you do something against your own conscience.
Look here, have you heard the words of Dr. Peter Phillips, our Minister of National Security?
Listen, Mr. Perkins.
In Jamaica, the man who plays by the rules is the man that gets shafted.
Mr. Perkins, we know these things. We do not agree with what's being done. We don't know how to get things straight. Somebody rang yesterday, I think, and said you should all march on Parliament. The point is that people are stressed, you know. You know when people are stressed. You can't ask a man that's looking for bread to worry about his pension. You with me? And
yes.
In fact, I'd like you to know that many, many elderly people in Jamaica who are not well versed in, well, they're not educated too much, and they slip through the cracks, you know. They're the very ones that need the help, you know. You with me now?
Yes.
Because they're elderly, they don't have any big income. But what you have in this society is a push to get what is for them without paying attention to the fact it's like there was Montego Bay, you know, there was a riot down here yesterday.
Yes.
Right? And it's so awful because whatever happens, there are people smoking marijuana all over Montego Bay, right?
Yes.
You don't go and burn down. We don't know who burnt the houses. But we can't go on like this.
Well, the people said it was the police.
It doesn't. Listen, the point is, you cannot have tourism and expect people to come here. All you're hearing about this, I hope people abroad are listening, because people wonder why Jamaica doesn't get more investment. It's because the man that's ringing about his pension can't get through. Can you imagine foreigners that come here have to register this and do that? By the time they find out all the rigmarole, they're gone again.
Yes.
Because it's too complicated. I hope Portia is listening, right? Because if I was Prime Minister of this country, I would abolish all taxes except customs coming in, and to reduce GCT to something more reasonable, right?
Abolish all taxes except... abolish all taxes except what?
GCT on food, only put it on luxury items. Put it this way, Mr. Perkins. If you can afford to bring in a Benz worth $10 million, right? You can afford to pay GCT and customs, whatever the government wants to charge, right? But you cannot keep on expecting... We need the people to have more money in their pocket, you know. Like all this writing that goes on, if they had money that they could go and do a little business and develop and end up buying a house and everything, you wouldn't have so much problem.
Yes, all right.
You're expecting people to live below what they call into the subterranean society.
Yes.
To behave themselves. Anyway, the main thing I rang you about, Mr. Perkins.
Hold on just a moment for me. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here, Mom.
Yes, one of the reasons why people love your program, Mr.
Hey,
Bird,
what's that?
one of the reasons people love to listen to your program, because you learn so much of all the problems, but sometimes the problems do have solutions because other people have gone through the same problem and they can expose it.
Yes.
That's why this morning, the frustration that people feel, I always think of living in Jamaica is like banging your head against a brick wall. But you keep doing that and you're dead. I mean, you go crazy.
Yes, indeed.
But the thing to do is to get calm, try one way. The reason I'm taking time out this morning, I feel for the man. Because right now, if I can just show him, it's an opportunity to try again, go get the form, read it, there's new instructions now, try it, just apply again at the right time, apply again, and see what happens. But no point ringing government offices, it's a waste of time.
Yes, Mom.
You know that.
All right.
And I love you and I'm gone.
Okay, thank you very much. All the best to you. Okay, hello? Oh, talking about those boys at the school there, Kingston Technical High School. They must have heard our Minister of National Security saying that in Jamaica the man who plays by the rules is the man that gets shafted. And similarly those young girls at that school, which was it, Queen School? The ones that came dressed in some fancy clothes that were not consistent with the uniforms that they should have had on. Play by the rules, you get shafted. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning to you, Ma'am.
Mr. Perkins, we live in a society that is angry.
That is?
Angry, extremely angry.
Yes.
And this is due to the fact that when you follow procedures or when you try to go the right way,
yes,
you always
you
end
get
up being
shafted.
frustrated.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I purchased a phone from Digicel, right?
A what?
A cell phone.
Yes.
In 2002. I've had the phone for about 4 years. On the 6th of February this year, I saw inactive SIM on the phone. So I called the customer care service representative and was told that someone had requested a replacement for the phone. I explained to the person that this could not be because my daughter, who is the owner of the phone, did not do it, and neither did I make that request, right? The person apologized to me, Mr. Perkins, for the inconvenience and told me that I would get a replacement SIM card from the nearest Digicel cell phone. I went there.
Now, what is a replacement means?
Let me tell you what it is, Mr. Perkins. When they have inactive on your phone, right? You cannot make or receive calls. It says that your phone is locked down.
Yes. Why would they lock down your phone?
That is what I can't. They can't give me a logical reason why this is happening. And it has been over a month from the 6th of February. I called the head office and I spoke to Judine Bent and explained to her the situation, right? She promised me that they would give me a replacement SIM, meaning I would get back a SIM card with the exact number.
Yes.
Mr. Perkins, I've been calling and I've been in dialogue with this lady and I've been getting nowhere. She told me the last time that somebody from the Digicel office near to me would call. He gave me a name and I called this morning and she has not returned my call. Ever since, nobody has called and I called this morning and she has not returned my call. And I cannot use my daughter cannot use her phone.
No, man, then what you must do is sue them.
Mr. Perkins, how many persons in Jamaica can afford a lawyer?
Well, that's another one.
And that is the problem. That's why they
frustrate
But you see,
people like that was what I was talking about earlier on this morning. That if you take a matter like this to the courts, right? You win, right? The court should not only award you damages, it should award you
fees, right.
Because if it gives you $100,000 of damages, and you have to pay $50,000 to a lawyer, what in effect it is giving you is $50,000 when it thinks that the damage that was done to you was worth $100,000. Why not give you $100,000 if that is what it thinks, right? And not oblige you to pay legal fees out of that $100,000.
Mr. Perkins, and then people are baffled as to why there's so much violence in this country.
But of course, yes.
Every corner you turn, people frustrated in every direction.
Yes.
When you're right.
Yes, and I hear teachers and other people talking about the indiscipline in the schools, right? We're an indisciplined society. And the society is indisciplined from bottom to top. Right? Which is why Dr. Peter Phillips is telling you that in Jamaica, the man who plays by the rules is the man that gets shafted.
And he's speaking the truth.
Right? Oh, absolutely. So what are people expecting? Boys in Jamaica College and Kingston College and Kingston Technical High School and this, that, the other one. What are they expecting them to do? To play by the rules while they see their elders defying the rules?
Playing by the rules.
And they had a prime minister who told them that the law is not a shackle.
And you see, the thing is, Mr. Perkins, my daughter sent us some applications, right? And that was the contact number she used. So if she was successful or not, we would not know.
Yes.
And I'm getting nowhere with these people from the cell. And I called up to this morning, and they have not returned my call.
Yes, well.
And I even faxed the receipt to show that I'd purchased my phone and when it was purchased. And still nothing. How can somebody call in who is not the owner of the phone to ask for replacement?
I don't understand that, ma'am. I really don't. And we have to beg these people. Mr.
Perkins, I paid my money for my phone and I can't get my phone to use.
And
that's my problem right now.
Take the matter to the Privy Council.
And if I go here to New Kingston and go and body your police will come arrest me.
Yes. Yes, indeed. That's why we have so much crime and violence, right? Because people take matters of the kind into their own hands.
Mr. Perkins, that's what we have to do. We have to take things in our own hands because nobody not looking out for us.
If everybody is taking things into his own hands, the whole society is going to dissolve deeper and deeper into disorder.
That is what is happening right now, Mr. Perkins, because you go the right way and you get frustrated.
Yes, indeed.
And we are so angry and there's nobody looking out for us. So you have to look out for yourself.
Well.
How can Digicel, this big organization, not on my phone when I buy? And no recourse and no redress.
Yeah. Yes.
And
that's why the Dons do so well, you see.
Because they can't come up with a reason as to why this was done and having me running up and down like some idiot.
Yes. That's why the Dons do so well. We need to make some profound changes in our society.
What is that? You find a Don, Mr. Perkins?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that is why the Dons do so well, right? But we cannot continue to go that route because there is worse trouble down that route.
You're getting success out of that route. But that is the only route that you see you get things done.
No. We have to change. We have to make some profound changes in our society. Right?
Mr. Perkins, I'm so frustrated. I'm frustrated and I've been calling for morning and she's not returning the call.
Yes.
Miss Judine Bent from the head office, could you please call Miss Stone? I am getting so frustrated.
I don't know. I still would suggest that you talk to a lawyer about this. All right?
Okay, Mr. Perkins.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Morning, Mr. Perkins. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Boy, your shoulder must be broad, boy.
Why?
All the troubles of Jamaica is sitting on them.
Not really.
So Perkins, am I to understand this, or do you understand what I'm understanding by the Prime Minister's speech in Montego Bay recently? Am I to understand that the government is seeking to form a coalition government in the next election?
No, I don't think so.
So what could be the purpose of asking the opposition to join with her?
Well, I think she's just playing a bit of politics, suggesting that any shortcomings of the government is the result of the failure of the opposition to cooperate.
You know something, sir? Somebody should point out that organization that she went to was divested, as far as I understand it, and there is a private investor there investing his funds trying to make this investment work. And you don't go to the people in private thing and give political speech.
Well,
that was my understanding. And I am totally, while I am elated for the people of Portmore that they're not faced with the increase in the toll at present time, I hope they understand the reasoning behind it, why they're not getting the toll now.
Well, I suppose the government is trying to ease them up for the election, no?
Yeah, but Mr. Perkins, I don't know, you see. I would like you to get your hand on a copy of that contract.
Yes.
Because this is what is amazing me, When they were doing this thing, they would tell you that the contract said this and the contract said that, and quite frankly, I've heard I think one of the presidents of the association made mention, Mr. Hamilton, that they are paying something in the order of $10 million a month to these toll people for subsidizing the toll.
Hold on just a moment for me, please. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. West Indies 176 for 8. Doesn't look like we're going to get the boost. Hello?
You're holding hope in that situation, eh?
I beg your pardon?
You're holding hope.
Well, I mean, my friend Mr. Pickersgill is hoping for a boost. Right.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Yes, I was just saying this, Mr. Perkins, that I sincerely hope that the people of Portmore understand why they didn't get the increase in the toll rate now. And while I'm happy that they
172 for 9.
Oh, we can go down.
176 for 9. Sorry about that. Yes, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Yeah, so Perkins, let me tell you something. See, we have a situation on our hand where we can't understand, Mr. Perkins, why we are looking at this thing now. If it is that that these people have a contract.
Yes.
I'm a little bit clueless right here now. How is it that there can be a contract in place and there can be such government manipulation on this thing? I really, really, really don't understand. Because, one of the things that they said earlier is that the thing was on the minister's desk, waiting for approval. Well, the minister kept laughing and saying, well, don't worry about Portmore, man. Portmore is all right. Don't worry about that right now. So I guess he knew what he was talking about.
Yes. They're going to give them increases elsewhere. And for the moment, there will be none in Portmore. But then I suppose after the elections, the Portmore thing will come up again.
Yeah, but how do you justify that kind of a behavior on the part of a government that is responsible?
Oh, I don't understand you. I mean, that's the kind of government that we have in Jamaica. we always think that it is best for the country for us to form, and best for us too, I'm sure, for us to form the administration.
Yeah, but
so anything that will lead us or cause us to be in office, we regard as being best for the country and in the best interest of the country.
I heard an argument being bandied about, you see, by no less than Mr. Kingsley Thomas at the time.
Yes.
That the reason why they could not go per kilometer in terms of cost is because the bridge was over water.
Yes.
Now, I am reminding these people that the bridge, in the first place, if the original plan was stuck to, the bridge would not have been over water. So therefore, if you change the plan to accommodate...
Why would the original plan not have involved the bridge going over water?
Because the original plan had the toll road running alongside the Mandela into 6 miles.
Oh, is that so?
Right.
Alongside Mandela?
Yes. And you see, somebody decided to go do a little legwork and say, my God, look how many cars are coming out of Portmore, man. You know? And say, boy, we have to back up these people, man, and charge them, man. Because the thing there.
What are you saying, sir? That this was a kind of kleptocratic policy?
Yes, Of course.
Oh.
You look here. You had an original plan that your road was to lay at a certain place, and all of a sudden you change your plan simply because the road that you build in the first instance is not giving you the kind of returns on your money. So somebody come with a bright idea and said, let us just block in to put more people, man. And I mean, those guys over there, they have nice cars and nice houses over there, so they can pay some good money to get out of there. And if you tell them that the road is good and listen, man, you're going to really enjoy a beautiful piece of road, and you're going to be saving money and gas and all the nice things. So they had some consultation with a few, of their colleagues over there, I'd like to call them at the moment. And then they went off to change the plan, to take away the bridge.
Yes.
The Causeway Bridge, replace it with a toll bridge, and then you end up in a situation now where they're now trying to widen this road to accommodate the traffic now and to widen that road. And it's really, really, really a sick joke, if you ask me. Right? Because people now that are living in Portmore are going to have to put up with paying a toll for the next 35 years to accommodate somebody's private investment.
Well, I don't know. When Sister P gets her mandate, she might think differently about it, You
mean she might think that the poor is being penalized?
Yes, and she might come to the rescue of the poor.
I'll tell you something. That would be something else. I tell you.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Mr. Perkins, you take it easy.
All the best, you. Okay, hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, morning, Mr. Perkins.
Morning, sir.
First time on your program,
Hold on 1 minute. You heard what has happened to West Indies? 177 all out.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Lord, that is dismal.
Eh?
Quite dismal, sir.
Well, I mean, New Zealand would have to do to be more dismal than that.
Yes, exactly.
For Mr. Pickersgill to get a boost.
Mr. Perkins, I always hear you saying you refer one to go and speak to a lawyer when he has a issue.
Yes.
But going to the lawyer and the lawyer shaft you. How you deal with that, sir?
The lawyer shaft you?
Yes, man.
Why would the lawyer shaft you?
Alright, in a situation, the lawyer went to a lawyer requesting of him to do a deal with a purchasing a property.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he said that, you know, he would have charged X amount of money to deal with that job. Alright?
Uh-huh.
The vendor had some problems with
and you agreed to that X amount of money?
Yes, I agreed to the cost, you know, for to complete it.
And you had this down on paper?
Well, basically when you go to a lawyer, you just pay him and it's a verbal agreement. The only thing was on paper was a sales agreement.
Oh, so he didn't write you a letter telling you what his
No, he
charges
didn't write
would
a
be?
letter stating the total cost. We went and we said we're going to buy this property for X, and he said this would be the cost to buy the property.
Uh-huh.
It's
It's always a good idea to get things down on paper, you know, so.
Oh, Lord. Well, sometimes, dealing with the law, you never anticipate that you would have to do that, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right.
So, come to find, the vendor had some problems now because the place wasn't actually in his name. The vendor, it was in his parents' name.
Uh-huh.
And his parents had died, so the place would have to been administrated and all of that.
Uh-huh.
So, he had some problems with his lawyer then, so he had to change the lawyer. His lawyer. Now, my lawyer is saying I have to pay some more money because, no, the transaction has been changed.
Hold on just a moment for me. Thank you very much. Back online. Hello?
Yes, sir, P.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man, you know, based on what I was saying before, how would you deal with a lawyer?
Yes, but the lawyer is saying that because the person selling the property
Yes.
has to go through a process,
Yes.
that you must pay some more money?
Exactly.
Why?
I don't know.
You're not asking him to do any more?
Pardon me?
I say you're not asking him to do any more than he was going to do before?
No. And I'm saying, we have agreed on a certain sum already.
Uh-huh.
And he knows the situation.
Uh-huh.
Because it was placed in front of him.
Yes.
So I'm saying, sir, if I bring my case to you and tell you that you must go and investigate this thing to see how best it would be in my interest. And you have gone and done that. And you have made a price. Now you know where the rough road is going to be, where the soft road is going to be. Why now, at some point in the game?
Yes, I don't understand that.
Oh, I'm saying, sir, if I went to the man and stated...
Yes, I know you said it already. I don't see on what basis he could be charging you more for doing the job. So if I were in your position,
yes,
I'd refuse to pay it, and if necessary, get another lawyer.
Oh, Lord. Man, but dear, it's going to cost me more money now.
Why?
Because I've already given him practically all of the initial capital.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, man.
Well, you see... well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what one does in these circumstances.
All right, sir, P.
All right, all the best.
Maybe I can comment on it later on, just in case.
Okay. Okay. Hello. Maybe the thing for you to do is to take the matter to the General Legal Counsel. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Good morning, man. You're running the day too fast.
Eh?
You are running the day too fast.
I am?
Yeah, you say it's afternoon, is that afternoon?
Yes? Oh, yes, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Based on the conversation I heard a while ago with that man from Portmore, read it all.
Yes.
Are you suggesting that Sister P has given instruction to withhold the tax from the Portmore people?
I never suggested any such thing, sir.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking. Are you so? If they are not suggesting that, why are you of the opinion that after the election it will go up?
Well, this is the way maybe they're running with it.
But you can't.
Eh?
Maybe they're running with it.
Yes.
But
the Dr. Davis is coming to Parliament this afternoon with a budget.
Yes.
I suspect that is going to be a run with it budget.
Yes, but
wouldn't you expect that?
Eh?
Aren't you expecting that?
If I'm expecting it?
A run with it budget.
Well, I don't know what to say.
You don't know what to say?
No, I don't know what to say. Because the political arena look too difficult for me to really put much interest in what's going on.
What, much interest?
Much interest.
I don't understand you. You have no interest in the politics?
I said I am not interesting much. You remember I used the word much.
Much.
In what's going on in political arena.
Oh, is that so? I thought that you were very, very interested.
No, I don't.
I see.
How you come to have that thought?
Huh?
How do you come to have that
thought? Well, from listening to you talk from time to time.
You listen to me talk from time to time?
Yes.
You're a dangerous man, you know. All right. That is that for that. Since you are not suggesting that rest.
Uh-huh.
Next thing. The World Cup and the West Indies.
Uh-huh.
And Mr. Pickard-Gill.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying that Mr. Pickard-Gill is depending on the West Indies to win, to have the hope, or he depending on the outcome?
Well...
Let me finish, man.
Uh-huh.
You won't give me no chance on. Or are you saying that he is depending on the outcome of the support for the World Cup to get the boost? Which are you saying?
Outcome of the support for the World Cup? What does that mean?
Support for the matches that is being played in Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
So I'm asking if you are expecting him to
Well,
Which are you expecting him to
I suspect that if the West Indies were to show signs of winning the World Cup,
yes,
that would create an even greater euphoria.
Oh, I see.
And they'd get a boost. Isn't that what he's talking about?
Well, I don't know. I'm asking you.
I thought that what he was talking about was that the World Cup would create a kind of euphoria in the country.
Yes, the World Cup situation, but I'm not talking about the World Cup matches. No, I'm talking about
the people would forget about all the bad roads and the crime and the bad schools, educational system, and the hospitals and all the rest of it.
Yes.
And would latch on to World Cup and say, oh, this was wonderful and so on, and this is worth a...
Based on the West Indies winning, or based on the West Indies winning, or based on the outcome?
No, the West Indies winning would help to...
Oh, I see.
To boost it up,
Yes.
Yeah, man. Wouldn't it?
I don't know, but it could have been.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Next point.
But isn't it terrible when the government has been in office for 18 years and has to look to World Cup to boost their chances?
I'm not going down that road there,
You're not going down that road? All right.
No. All right. Next road. Hello?
Uh-huh.
Remember the last conversation we had about the homosexual thing?
Uh-huh.
And I asked you, why are you do not have anything to say about or against the homosexual arrangement?
Why don't I what?
Why do you do not have anything to say about the homosexual behavior that is growing in the country?
Yes.
And you are not troubled by it.
I what?
You are not troubled by it.
Yes.
Am I right in saying so?
Yes.
Am I right in saying so?
Yes, of course.
Why are you not?
Why should I be? Why should I be? How does it affect me?
How it affect you? What if a homosexual man who practices homosexual behavior crouching on you one night?
Do what?
Crouching on you or coming on you one night.
Crouching on me?
Yes, coming on you one night. And demand homosexual practices from you. What would you do? You still wouldn't be interested to say about it?
I would find some way of dealing with him.
You just give in to him? You just give in to him?
No.
So what would you do? What would you do?
How you mean, what would I do?
No, I ask you, what would you do?
Well, I'd call my security company and the police.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if that is your view that would happen to you, why then you don't see that same thing should happen to other persons who are involved, who get caught in the same kind of trap?
But hold on a little bit. Don't be, this sort of childish argument. I can't deal with, Because suppose, are you married?
Yes, man.
Suppose a heterosexual man were to come in on you one night and demand to be allowed to rape your wife in your bedroom. Right?
Yeah.
What would you do?
What would I do?
Yes.
I would do the same thing I would do about anybody that become against rape.
Well, all right. Yes, well.
Because I'm against rape,
well,
I would do it.
Well, the same thing would apply to the homosexual.
But no, because you are not against homosexual.
Don't talk rubbish.
Could not apply because you're not against them.
I'm not against them, sir.
No.
Of course not. I'm not against them.
You wouldn't go that route at all.
Why?
No, because you are not against them. You wouldn't expose them.
No, don't talk damn nonsense.
What do you mean? And you are saying?
You know
what you are saying,
What you are talking about, rape.
Yes, and I'm talking about homosexual behavior.
You're talking about homosexual rape and heterosexual rape. Well, as far as I'm concerned, the two of them are the same.
All right, suppose you don't come into rape, what would you do?
Suppose what?
Suppose you don't come to rape, then. You're talking about, you classify my conversation based on rape one way or the other.
Hold on a little bit. I tried to explain to you people, right? And what you're exhibiting is a kind of, a mental deficit that has serious consequences for
in your assessment.
Yes, all right, fine.
You most,
right?
And you think you're most right?
Look, what we're talking about here, right, is you remember that thing I told you about that Thomas Jefferson wrote in the.
Yes, you are. Why? Are you especially remember Thomas Jefferson when he called you?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I don't know, because you raised certain issues.
You tell me about Thomas
you raised certain issues.
And foolishness.
We're talking about the limits of governmental power, right? What power should the government have, and what is the purpose of government, right? The purpose of government is to protect the rights of the people. Right?
That is so.
Among those rights is the right to liberty. Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom is the right to make choices.
Yeah.
You make your own choices.
Yeah.
Right? And I am arguing that there must be a limit to your freedom to make choices.
Yeah.
And I'm arguing that limit should be at that point where in choosing to do whatever, you would be interfering or stifling the rights of somebody else.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that, then you should be free to do what you want to do. Okay, that is my argument. Thank you very much. All the best to you. We leave you now for the news. We'll be back here in about 20 minutes. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. It is either that the Governor General's throne speech, and let me point out that it isn't really the Governor General's throne speech. It is a speech uttered by the Governor General as a matter of tradition. But what it really is supposed to do is to present a kind of program of the government's policies for the next financial year. It tells you what the government plans to do, right, in terms of policy and so on. And especially when one remembers that this is an election year, that we're probably going to be seeing an election somewhere about the middle of the year, if not before. But at any rate, we have to have an election this year, I believe. When one considers that, and Sister P looking for her own mandate, what was reported in our news concerning that throne speech was very wishy-washy. Right? But let us see whether there is more to it. We should hear more about it by this afternoon. But, I found it very disappointing. Well, not that I was expecting much better, but, Okay, hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm calling about this crime in Harlech Garden. I'm a citizen there for over 30 years.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah.
You've lived in Harlech Gardens?
For over 30 years.
For over 30 years?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What is going on down there?
Oh, Mr. Perkins, I wonder if we have a what do you call it now? MP there.
A what?
I wonder if we have a MP, because I haven't seen Omar Davis any at all.
Are you serious?
I couldn't tell when last he came there. Or if he do, I don't know, because maybe it's only special people see him.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of things going on down there, Mr. Perkins. What don't even come on the news,
Such as what?
Oh my, a lot of shooting and killings and... Oh my God, Mr. Perkins, I can't even...
Well, we do hear something from time to time about some of this. You're saying that there are others that are not carried in the news?
Yeah, sometimes there's a lot of stuff that goes on there that don't come on in the news. Because, first of all, they're saying they don't want the media to be... Well, on one point, I heard that Mr. Davis said he doesn't want the media there because apparently he doesn't want the world, the public, to know what is going on down there.
Oh?
But trust me, man, I'm so traumatized. I'm even afraid to go out to work.
Oh God!
I'm so afraid.
What is it that is causing this?
Pardon me?
What is it that is giving rise to this?
What is it that is?
Yes. What is the cause behind it all?
I don't really know, Mr. Perkins, because right now I'm calling you and I'm so scared.
Huh?
I said, I don't even know because I'm only like hearing because I'm not really there in the days,
Uh-huh.
But when I go home in the evening and sometimes some stuff that I hear going on, man, these gunmen, it's like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to put it, Mr. Perkins.
Hold on just a moment. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here with you, Mom.
Yeah.
Yes, you were...
I'm just calling to send a message to Mr. Davis. I don't really want to go in any details,
Uh-huh.
I just want to call to ask Mr. Davis if he abandoned us, because I don't really see him doing anything. Does he want to really hold his seat for the next election?
Is there any possibility that seat could be lost?
Well, not that, because as you know, Harlech Garden is a diarted PNP area.
Uh-huh.
But it's not that the people are going to change, but people are not going to go out and vote. Because we don't have, it's like we don't, he came there sometime, well, as I hear. But to do what? Sometimes you might see some police around the place. They are at this corner, the gunmen are at the other corner.
Oh, is that so?
Because they know where to go, when to go. They station them here. And because Harlech Garden is a very large place,
Is very what?
It's a large place.
Yes.
So, it will take the whole army to really solve crime there, because putting 6 policemen here and 6 over there.
That's what they do?
Yeah, in some areas you see a group sitting down.
Policemen?
Because
a group of policemen sitting down?
Yeah, doing nothing, because if shots are firing 2 or 3 blocks from them, they can't move. So what's the sense there?
Why they can't move?
Because apparently they're stationed there and they're not supposed to move from where they are.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I think
even when they hear firing going on?
No, they can't move. They have to just sit unless they are called.
Oh?
So, I mean, that can't help because the governments are still there.
Yes.
They're passing in the taxes, looking at them, staring, laughing at them. Mr. Perkins, I don't really know, I'm not sure if I'm really doing the right thing, because I'm so scared. But what to be has to be. I just can't understand. I have my kids there and I have to send them away. I can't keep them there because they're traumatized. Can you imagine waking up in the morning and see 4 people lying down dead just like that?
Yes.
About 2 weeks ago, they killed the son, the gentleman that was killed this morning. Apparently, he had a son who was firing guns, and they killed him about 3 weeks ago. I don't know what is the problem. They come back and they kill the son and the daughter, the father and the daughter this morning.
Oh, God.
So, you can imagine, you don't have to do anybody anything in there, Mr. Perkins. You just want to, you have a close relative that is involved, or you might step on a person's toe and, and then come kill you. Oh my God, Mr. Perkins.
Is there any politics involved in all of this?
No, because I don't think so. Because Arnett Garden is a diarrhea PNP area, and it's just PNP fighting against PNP.
PNP fighting against PNP.
Well, what else can I say?
Yes. But what is the motive?
Pardon me?
What is the motive?
Mr. Perkins, I wouldn't know. Because
is it gang rivalry?
Yeah, you have gangs all over the place. You have men living like, what you would say now? In this scheme, you can't go over on that scheme. You have to be taking that bush at all time. And for a community, why is that so? What can the government do to this? I respect Mrs. Simpson so much. Trust me, Mr. Perkins, although people say you don't like PNP, but I am a diarrhea PNP, and I'm not really cutting against the party.
People say I don't like PNP?
Well, that's what I hear on your program most of the time, or you say you talk against the PNP and whatever, but I don't really know, Mr. Perkins. I don't know if the government really can solve this, or is the Bible fulfilling. Sometimes I'm wondering if it's really the Bible fulfilling or what. What else can we do?
But look here, that man who was shot down by the Denham Town police station yesterday, was he from that area?
Well, he's not from Harnagal, but I heard on the news that he was sometime running down by Rima, that is close by. So I don't know, because I don't really know him. I don't really know them, Mr. Perkins. I said I don't really know them, because I'm not seeing them. I just know what is going on is not right.
Yes.
I don't really know, because I can't come and point out on this man and say, yes, you are a shutter. But I'm there, I'm in my bed, I hear the shots. Sometimes I'm afraid to look through my window. And I'm just, Mr. Perkins, I don't know why I called you, but I'm just scared.
Yes, I can understand.
I'm just scared. What can we do? People that demonstrating that could help, but maybe if we go out on the street, maybe we'll get some attention.
Maybe that might make it worse.
Yeah, but we are afraid.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? We are afraid because we don't want to go out there and then you hear say, you did go there demonstrate and you hear say 6, 7, 8 people gonna get killed again.
Yes.
So we have to just keep ourselves where we are.
Yes, but I'm amazed at Dr. Davis. All this has been going on. How many months has this been going on?
Mr. Perkins, it's past count. It's a long time now. Long time. Because, as I told you before, sometimes stuff goes on that doesn't really reach the news. Sometimes it seems like it is calmed a bit. And then it just
breaks out again.
Right. I don't know. I think if them drop a sudden curfew in that place, but it don't make sense neither, because they're going to drop a curfew and then they're going to come on the news and go and tell you where the curfew is going to be. That means to them, I tell the shutter them to leave. And then you have the police them now. You have some rotten police out there, Mr. Perkins.
Oh, yes?
Mr. Perkins, you know that the police, them over there sometimes, I don't want to say this on the radio, you know.
No, man. Sometimes what?
Sometimes they work with the gunmen, you know.
Are you serious?
Of course. I heard from good source. So why you think they can go all in a station and go kill man? The officer almost in a station go kill man and, you know, get away just like that? Or is it because they're afraid of their life? On last man they killed over by Halmerton there. That business was such a good, nice businessman to the community. He helps people. And man just go right up, they go kill him and them just gone. And police is there, well maybe he's I'm safe because I'm right beside the station, but where is he now? You know, I don't know, Mr. Perkins, do you know?
Well, I can imagine how distressed people like you must be.
Mr. Perkins, I mean, I'm not really, what you call it, you know, but, trust me, this thing is going out of proportion now. Somebody have to speak up, but we are all afraid. We are afraid, Mr. Perkins.
Gosh.
We are all afraid.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I just don't know. Right now I'm talking to you, Mr. Perkins, my body's just shaking away like this. I'm troubled with blood pressure, blood sugar. And I might just wake up one morning and collapse because I don't know. Right now I tell my kids, you know, don't come in here, you know. If you want me, I'll find you where you're. I don't want you to come anywhere near there.
Who are those?
Pardon me?
Right now you tell your...
I tell my kids, I call them and tell them, don't come and visit me. If I want to see you or you want to see me, I'll come where you are. Because, me tell you see the man that has his money, he's in a better position than the poor people down there. You know, people, and, you know, I'm so afraid for all those people who go buy the houses that they build up down there. Mr. Perkins, especially, you have one, I have a relative who lives down by 10th Street there. And I don't know what, if it's a trap housing trust was set in for those people or what. That place is like a telefair at night with the gunmen, you know. So I heard. Well, this is from hearsay then. But people who live in there are complaining because I'm not living down that side. But, you know, I thought they should put a fence around that place, you know. Because people, anybody just come right through, you have your kids out there playing, anything can crop up at any time, and it's so close to the war area. Mr. Perkins, I don't know what Mr. Davis did when he let them build that house and didn't really put a fence there. Because the people, they are complaining that when they show them the plan before the houses were building, there was a fence around the place, so why it is built now and there's no fence?
Oh, God. But fence isn't going to keep out gunmen.
Pardon?
I say a fence isn't going to keep out gunmen.
No, but at least, you know, it can, I mean, driving through as you like, it, you know, if people see you jump the fence, at least they can say, wait, whatever, you know, but it just leaves hoping up. No. Well, I want to tell Mr. Davis, you know, I'm not going to change, but if I don't know. Well, I want to tell Mr. Davis, you know, I'm not going to change, but if he thinks he's going to get my finger red for what is going on, he's not going to. I am not going to vote for the JLP, and I am not going to vote for the People's National Party under this condition, Mr. Perkins. So if Mrs. Miller wants to be the next Prime Minister, he might as well speak to Mr. Davis or find somebody else who can run the place and put there. You know?
Yes.
If and when he comes there, it's also certain people sees him. Like the top notches and the dons and the, you know, me, all like me, little Fraser can't see me, you know, because I'm 65 years old, you know.
You're what?
I'm 65 years old.
65?
Yeah.
Oh, you sounded a lot younger than that to me.
Yeah, I'm 65 years old. Don't really let the voice fool you. And I'm not going to make nobody push me down to go vote for nobody. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, but Mr. Perkins. Oh my.
Oh boy. sickness?
I say, I'm here speaking to you, Mr. Perkins, and the phone is just shaking. My nerves is gone. I don't know if I can live this out any longer.
Oh boy.
Anyway, Mr. Perkins.
Well, you mustn't give up hope.
Hello?
Don't give up hope.
I'm not giving up, you know. All I have to do is just pray and ask the Lord to guide me. And, you know, the good people. Because you have good people down there, you know.
Yes, I'm sure.
People down there.
Yes.
But I don't know.
But Dr. Davis pays you no attention.
Well, not that I know of. If he pays anybody any attention down there, it is who he wants to pay attention. I don't know. Seems like these guys are getting paid to do what they're doing, or I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You can't say just gunmen fighting against gunmen, you know, because innocent people are dying too.
Yes.
Because since the start of the week from Jonestown come around over is, this is 2, that's a pair on Monday, and this is 4 today. And who know what can happen next? Because
yes, indeed.
You know?
All right, Mom.
Okay, Mr. Perkins.
The best of luck to you, and be very careful.
The Lord bless and keep you also.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Well, New Zealand has lost a wicket without a run on the board. Can the West Indies keep that up? I wouldn't count on it. Look here, we just had a call from a woman who says that she lives in Arnett Gardens. And she was very she said that everything that woman was saying was true. But she says she now fears for the safety of that woman. And if she's listening, I would like to suggest to her that she takes some very serious precautions. Maybe the thing is to see whether she can find somewhere else to live and not go back down there. What a horrible state of affairs exists in this country. Yes, boy, but I don't know. It's appalling when you put yourself in the position of people who are having to endure that kind of life. It is amazing that more of them don't go mad. Hello. And they say Dr. Davis isn't paying any attention to this matter. This violence has been going on down there for some months now. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins. Let's hope for the West Indies and hope for the
Speak up a bit for me.
So let's hope for the West Indies and the rest of people that in the country here.
Yes, I think
it's terrible.
I think Mr. Pickersgill must be keeping his fingers crossed.
It's terrible. I call you, sir. Second time to speak with you. I have a little problem with Jamaica Public Service Company.
With what?
The Jamaica Public Service Company. I hear them putting out all different type of advertisement, discriminating people who them believe or claim say stealing electricity.
Who them believe or what?
Who them believe say stealing electricity. But to my belief, you know, I think the Jamaica Public Service Company put that type of fear in a lot of people for steal, you know. Because my yard I live into, I usually bridge current. I took it by myself, way out my house and take out a contract with the company. From December, last part of December.
Yes.
I discovered in my house that one side, no current, and the other side is low voltage.
Is low voltage?
Right. So I get an electrician who checked everything and said the problem is between the breaker and the meter. So him said, what? I asked him what to do. Him said, well, to what him see, I better go down there and get a permission for him to open the meter. Which I went to Ven Road the 3rd of January. I don't even bother call him. I spoke with a lady there. As me mentioned name on the meter, she jumped up and said, okay, your meter have a problem with you because there's a lot of low kilowatt on your reading. So I told her, from the pole to the pothead, there is current as gone to electrician. But in between the breaker back to the meter, no current, and one side is low voltage. And Mr.
You mean the meter from the meter to your breaker?
Right.
Yes.
Panel, no current, and low voltage.
Yeah.
And from the 3rd of January, the 9th of January I went back. I went back around some part between the 10 to the 15th. Plus I called the head office. And when I called the head office, they tell me that somebody come, calling the public service people, them told me that they will have to come and open the meter. Then don't give nobody no right to pull the meter, to take out the meter. So they will have to come. And from that time until now, them don't come. Them don't even call me back as request after them, because they claim that they will find the place. When I give them the name and the address, they say no problem, they will find it. And when I called the head office told me that them see a report where somebody come and check. I said, check what? No one don't come and check, because the problem do not at the pothead. The problem in between the meter and the breaker panel. So if I get an election and check it, and he said the meter will have to open, them tell me that them not granting no permission to open the meter. They will have to send somebody come and check and open the meter. And if that person come and check, you don't believe in that open the meter, Mr. Perkins?
I should think so.
The meter is there with all the cement and what flash against the meter after the meter put in, and up to now. Then what would I like to know? Suppose the company come and see me a steel electricity. Alright, see me breathing up a wire to get current. What would I really tell me, say?
Well, I think...
Tell me, say, lock me up?
Yes, well, something like that you're interfering with the meter.
So what them believe now? I should stay like that from January and until continue staying like that same way?
No, Jamaica, they have a dispute with the trade unions, you see, where apparently a court decision was made in 2003. Yeah. We're now in 2007, and they haven't done anything about it.
Why?
Right? They take us for a joke in this country, man.
But it's more than a joke, Mr. Perkins, because when I listen and leave to the advertisement, I will listening to one.
But the problem is not the public service company, you know.
Well, then,
it is your government.
The whole base of the government. It's true, sir.
Huh? Because your government is there to protect your rights. They can't make an arrangement with the public service company, which gives the public service company almost a right to do as it likes with you.
Because 3 times I go inside of that place, they are telling me it's their responsibility. They don't give no permission. And if I open the meter or get an electrician, it's a breach. They can seize the meter, and them can this and them can that. And a bit simple, went only 3 times plus 1 report to the head office. I never realized that it was the head office I was calling the evening.
But you're not getting the service in your house, you're telling me?
Not, up till now, them do not pay it any mind.
No,
they
man.
don't pay it no mind. I've been this route then road 3 times. I went out route then road 3 times. Plus I called the head office. And when I call the head office, a matter of fact, they tell me that they see a report on the computer with somebody come and check. I say, oh, nothing like that. Nothing like that. We do not ask them to come and check. We ask for a permission to open the meter because there's a problem. Which them said, no, they will have to come and open it. And
but they should make arrangements with you.
I even
to come at a time when your electrician is there.
Nothing like that. When I asked the lady, I said, okay, if you're going to have any difficulty, here's my number. Oh, no. Once the meter have a number, and they know where it is. And up till now, so me would have liked to know where this thing come and see me why out there now to get light in my house. What them all tell me that?
But if they are supposed to be supplying you with electricity. If they're not doing it properly, then what you must do is write to them and demand that they fix it. Right? And tell them that if they don't fix it, then you'll be talking to a lawyer. Mark you, that is going to be expensive. And boy.
I don't know. No, because if I have a contract with them, they refuse to give me and said, okay, just said, okay, get an electrician, work it on when you, because I believe they would have said, make the electrician open it, solve the problem, and then report back to me and let me come and lock it.
Well,
I was expecting that they should have done that. Them said no.
Well, no, I don't.
So I said then,
I'm not surprised that they haven't done that, you see, because they don't want people interfering with their meters.
No, but I went there and asked, I believe they would have said, okay, since that's a problem then, your electricity is important. Based upon the area which I live. And I believe they would have come there the same day.
Yes.
Right? I believe they would have come the same day.
Well, they're not sufficiently concerned about you, man.
Maybe it's true enough. Then don't care one bit.
No.
And me see them knocking on a lady gate and asking Mr. John Brown, who the lady said, who are me? He said, you're a thief. No, that is the type of discriminating people to black people. And they refuse from honor their contract. So why discriminating poor little black people like that?
Well, so because your government allows them to do it?
Boy, oh boy. It is more than the most discriminating.
You know, if your government had set up... Mark you, I tell you something, it's almost... The government has set up the OUR.
Yeah.
And maybe you could talk to the OUR about what you've been saying.
Okay.
Right? But what will come out of it is another matter. You know? But try them now.
So, Mr. Perkins, I hitch up a light pole for over 20 years.
Huh?
I hitch up on light poles for over 20 years.
Yes.
And I come down, look into my own self and said, no, I build up my place now. I will get my place wire out.
Hold on a moment. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. Hello?
Mr. Perkins.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I was saying that 20 years I live at our community. I can remember every evening coming
20 years you live
20 years.
In a community?
Yeah, where I live. I can tell you, say, hitching up wire is not a really...
Is that what?
Hitching up wire from public service is not a really a sweet thing to do. Because you like will lose your... Sometimes it costs you more than what you gain. And after 20 years, I decided to say, no more. The children then coming up need comfort.
Oh, you mean you used to connect up to the public service company, what? Eh?
Right, the hitch up wire. We call it hitch up, you know.
You pitch up?
Right.
And for 20 years you did that?
Right.
Eh?
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
I've been never know where you're caught.
Eh?
Never been caught.
You never been caught?
Never been gone near if they want me. And I take it off my own personal and said, I know really good. Children ain't coming up. I don't want to in the house because a lot of time we in the house, you know. And we have to run, go jar down and run and hide and lock up.
Oh, yes?
And so, build up my house, I decided to get it started out the right way.
When is that? You mean when public service company people coming?
Right. Because it was them as they approaching you, you know, you know.
Eh?
But I believe them are coming and you don't know. Because that's how the link go.
I see.
Who them catch, you know, is who may be slight and slow.
Oh.
Right? But if you are living in a community and living in a unity.
Yes.
That thing, nobody now get catching this from public service.
I see what you mean.
That's our unity. And I did after 20 years, I decided having my children.
Then when you go draw down, and them come on them see light bulb in your house and so.
See light bulb in them can't go in your house.
Oh.
Because no door, no open, no window, no open. Right? And everybody know the rule of the when you see a truck budge the bottom of the lane, you whistle blow. So everybody know what to do.
Oh, a whistle blow.
Nobody don't even pay attention to them. In nearest neighbor you can, you help the neighbor if he's not there. So, you know, just so we move.
I see.
I never go nowhere near them to come and warn. And I just said, come out of it. Do the right thing now. And this is the type of treatment I get in from them. Then they're younger, what do you think I expect me to do?
If you're 30 years younger?
20 years younger now. Wouldn't bother pay them no mind.
You wouldn't bother pay them no mind?
No.
You'll just fling up again?
Yeah, but that's what they're forcing me to do now. They should say what they're forcing me back to do. Because if I did 20 years ago, I wouldn't bother go down there, matter of fact. The public service come to my house, well, not really my house, but in the era which I live, that I set up. And for 1 week, them come in the searching for electrician, you know. Because them see where the wire is, and see where it's set up. And them say them, no, is not a hook-up wire that got to be a experienced electrician do it. And for 1 week, you know, see my yard. We just come in, go out.
So what you're saying now is that you decide to play by the rules.
By the rule, Mr. President.
And you get shafted.
Oh my God. I hear you singing that same song and I just realized the full meaning of it. Because it reached me. It reached me. And when I look around and see it coming up to soon the midterm holiday with school, the children are going to my house, computer, TV, everything. I can't almost, then when they come around, what must I do now?
No, you don't want to have that.
No, that's exactly Mr. Perkins.
So you want to play by the rules.
That's what I'm trying to do.
And you want to teach your children to play by the rules.
Because I go through it and I know it's not a sweet thing. I see child get killed from it. And I go there and look. Sometime and everything you see them put out on the TV story go like that, you know. But you see if you have experience in it, you will know if it's truth.
Yes.
Right? You will know if it's truth. I see person get killed from it. Because I see him hooked up.
I hear you.
And everybody I go believe like say, well, it can't happen. And everything them say, it goes so because sometimes when they go out there, them try to show some discriminating story to frighten some people. But me not really frightened about what them put out, you know.
I follow you.
Because me know what it is. Right? And I take caution and I said, okay, get off a hit and do the right thing. In case me lie down at my house, and my family is there, watch TV or what thing, me not have to run, go draw down and everybody inconvenient. This is from January the 3rd.
Yes.
And this is what me get in. It just show you how, I don't know.
I beg your pardon?
It just show you how, I should say, disconcern them is. Maybe I choose not a residential area can to them. But I would have to them say, it's better if them in come quick because I see them come in my area already and cut off a woman light, see. Think it was $1,500 she won it.
$1,600?
$1,500. Trust me, Mr. Perkins, $1,500. And then cut it. At the time that paid the bill, a month time coming to $4,000 and $5,000. And apparently, little difficult, you know, and she have continued to pay. When it comes, she pay and balance and pay and balance. One day then come and cut it at $1,500. Now, when we look on it, how stupid them is. Cutting a person light for $1,500 and the person bill running 4,000 and over in a month time. You expect that person to sleep in the dark, Mr. Perkins?
That's what?
You expect that person should sleep and live in the dark?
Well, the person should pay the $1,500.
No, what I mean, he should pay it. But I said, if when them come down and do that, just come and cut it off without a warning.
Yes, no warning.
Yeah, right. What them believe that person going to stay in the darkness? They're not going to stay in the darkness.
No, what them going to fling up?
Then that me assure you, say sometimes they do not act like they have no sense. Or they don't think. Them just go around and do some things that even what them doing now. From the moment I go down there and said, boy, my light is our problem. Me thought them would have come the same time. But then them sit no, then don't pay no mind from January until now.
But the fling up thing not dangerous.
Well, that's what me tell us, that's why me stop. That's why me come off of it.
Oh, that's why you come off
of it? That's why I come off of it.
Oh,
well, when I say dangerous, you know, I know if you get around it.
You know if you get around it?
I don't say I won't get meeting some.
But let me ask you something.
Yeah?
Where you fling up on? Now the high tension wire them.
The pole out there, just get a stick and put it up. You
get a stick?
Yeah, and put it up.
Oh, yes?
And you're gone. To me, it's not danger to me because I know what I'm doing. Because that was one of my first trade. So I know what I'm doing. But in order for the inconvenience of my house and who there, and even when me is here myself and see them a come and me have to run up, me said no. Better a full time, sort out myself and just try to go straight and play the game fair. But why it better me did I go and throw it up same way?
Well, I don't know about that one.
Because in December, in December when this thing went down.
Anyway, try straighten it out with them, no?
So you say I have to give them a notice in writing?
Yes. All right?
Okay, them tapper.
Okay, all the best to you. What a country. Hello? Hello, yes?
Yes, Mr. Perkins. Yes, I'm calling about what
Not hearing you very well.
I'm calling about what I consider to be the irresponsibility and unresponsiveness of the National Water Commission. Yes, I've got a situation here with them that I've had going on in Mandeville since 2002, where my father has a 2-bedroom house that he was renting out, and the bills are running somewhere between $400 or $500 per month, and suddenly the bills started coming at $13,000 to $15,000 per month.
13 to 15,000. You mean for water?
Yes, at a 2-bedroom house. And finally...
Now, who is paying the bill?
The lady was paying the bill, but it was in my father's name. The tenant was paying the bill.
Oh, I see.
So,
the contract, the Water Commission contract,
yes,
is in your father's name?
Correct.
So he's liable.
Right. And so what happened, though, is that they found out that...
But in any event, he would be liable,
Yes, I understand that.
Yes.
I understand that. So what happened, though? This is in 2002. A letter of amnesty was sent to everyone in the district.
I'm not hearing you.
A letter of amnesty? An amnesty letter was sent to everyone in the district because everyone had been getting these exorbitant bills. So we were instructed to go down to the office in Mandeville and to speak to the representative and have them work out what the true bill should have been because there was a problem. I went and I did that with the tenant. We were instructed to pay $5,000, and that would cover it. And because what I wanted to do was to get the account out of my father's name and into the tenant's name.
But even if you get it into the tenant's name, and the tenant leaves the property and doesn't pay the bill is attached to the property.
Yes, that I understand also. However, I just feel that if the bill is in the tenant's name and they've paid the deposit, they'll be more responsible in paying it. So, at any rate, I paid the $5,000. I was told that the person that was in charge of the amnesty program was...
Could you speak up a bit for me?
I was told that the person in charge of the amnesty program was not available because they were on leave. So, the manager of the place took the paperwork along with the receipt for the payment and told me that it would be handled as soon as he got back to the office.
Hold on just a moment, please. Okay, thank you very much. Back here.
Yes, sir. Yes, so, again, now I went there 21st of November of last year.
Sir, your voice is gone again.
I went back on the 21st of November of last year. And they gave me a piece of paper showing that I now owe $22,000.
Oh, hell.
Now, the water's been disconnected since 2002. So I have no idea how this money came about. And I've been there 10 times, and they keep referring me to other people, and everyone keeps giving me this paper and saying, well, now, you simply owe that. And I said, well, how is it owed? Can I get some...
What you say, the water has been disconnected?
And they just keep simply telling me that we don't have the records. And I keep calling them. I can't get through them. It takes me 2 hours to get from my house to their office. Every time I go there, they're either not in, or they want me to come back in a few days, or they'll call me back. And I'm just, I don't know if that's any kind of a way for them to operate, a government institution. Hello?
Well, I tell you something, so between all these utility companies, I mean, they're really giving people in this country a hard time,
It's an amazing thing to me because I said, all I want is if you show me the records and show me where this money is owed, I will pay it. But if you can't demonstrate to me that it is owed because I know it isn't, then there's no reason why it should be paid. But I guess
they won't show you. You ask them to show you the record,
right? And they say, well, their records don't go back that far. So I'm saying, well, then how do you know this money was owed? Because I came in, I know the person I spoke to, I know the date I came in, I know the amounts I paid, and the water was cut off. So then they said, well, then based on the amnesty program, well, then maybe when it went to Mandeville, went to Montego Bay, they revised it because we cannot make the final decisions inside this office. I'm saying, well, why would somebody in Montego Bay who knows nothing about some rural district in Manchester be making a decision as to how much is owed on a bill in which there's a discrepancy? And that would be done 2 years after the fact.
Uh-huh.
So I have no understanding how this process works and why this utility, which and these public servants, and I am part of the Jamaican public, are so unresponsive and irresponsible. Because I have a tenant now who's a cousin of mine whose husband was killed in Kingston last year. She wants to rent the place. She's there, and I can't charge her any rent because, well, she can't get any water.
Yes, I suggest to you that you try the
OUR.
OUR. Have you spoken to them about it?
I spoke to them, and they said that they'd get back to me, too.
They'd what?
I said I spoke to someone there, and I was told that they would get back to me, but it's been 2 weeks, and I've called 3 times, and no one has gotten back to me.
Oh, my God.
So, this just seems
well, so it's a national problem that we have.
But this is, again, if they had,
it applies to electricity, water, telephones.
Along with that, and this is what really stings me, is that my parents built another house in another parish, and the contractor had the water connected, and the house has been built almost 5 years now.
Yes.
So we've gone down, and when we come down for a month or so on vacation. And every time we've gone there 4 times to try to get a water meter put in and get on the system. And each time we put in an application, it was never done, and we'd leave.
Yeah.
This time we came down for a feeling we were going to be here for about a month and a half, 2 months, and we went down again. We explained the situation to Alicia. She kept saying, so you need to have a water connected.
Yes.
I said, no, we already have water. And she said, well, how'd you get water? I said, well, when the contractor built the house, when you left, the water was on. So now I was told by a plumber that, to disconnect and have them come and put in a new one. And I said, no, because we've had the water there. So, we're willing to pay for what we've used. Now, both my parents went in with me, and we all had our passports. The lady said, well, was the house built with water? I said, yes, because the contractor put it in, but we should have paid. She said, well, we don't show that he's paid. So I said, well, how much is it? She said, well, it's $7,000 for the new meter, and there's an additional charge of $20,000 for billing the house and for the water that you would have used. We said, okay, fine. We paid the $27,000. She needs some additional paperwork from my father. I said, okay, we'll come back tomorrow. The next day we went back. She said her supervisor revised it, and we owed an additional $30,000 for water that was used. Anyway,
maybe you ought to take some legal action.
Well, again, I paid it.
Yeah.
But, the whole idea was, in the 5 years,
yes,
we haven't spent 6 months in this house because...
Well, I don't know. That will discourage investment, sir.
Well,
Anyway, thank you very much. Hope you get it sorted out soon. Okay, hello? Hello? Hello?
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Perkins?
Not too bad, thank you.
First time on your program, sir.
Eh?
First time on your program.
Oh, happy to have you.
Yes, sir. 2 things, quickly. One thing, police. I don't really have a problem with them, but during the night when they're driving, why do they have to keep the satellite on and there's something that dazzle people high?
Well, they want to, I suppose, to identify...
Yeah, but at the same time, you're driving by the police at least a mile and a half with the light flashing and you can't pass him. And that is most irritating to people.
Yes.
And you cannot see good and them keep doing it over and over. I have experience the other day coming from St. Ann, entering to watch it, out by Jackson there, coming in the light flashing and them a crawl at 0. Then that seems to driving 50 kilo.
Why you couldn't pass him?
Because the unbroken line is there, and if you're passing with a crawl at 0, then that seems to driving 50 kilo.
Why you couldn't pass him?
Because the unbroken line is there, and if you're passing with a ticket you. This is the problem.
Yes.
Right? And that's all we want them to do. Stop them something at night time. You know,
they didn't have
irritating thing.
They didn't have a siren on.
No siren, just the light flashing.
Well, I should have thought that that light was an emergency light.
No, they were crawling.
Yes, I know.
And I laugh and talking at the car. That's what they're doing. I most of the time, some of the time. You know, my second issue, Transport Authority. I went there yesterday. Now, they don't have no proper parking for people. You have to park on the sidewalk, and I run out every minute, and I look for your vehicle and then tow it away. Now, how can be Transport Authority? Remember, they miss Transport Authority, you know, them are run things on the road. Them are KCC. Why them don't have a proper parking space when people come around for the business?
And what? It's a no parking zone in front of the office?
There's no parking inside here. Them shift up the gate now. You can't park drive in, and you have to park in the Richmond Park right there.
Oh, that's very clever.
I'm telling you, there's no parking for the customers them.
Where is this?
Now Maxwell Avenue, that's where the Transport Authority. There's no parking for customers. And when you park on the avenue, the one way, and when you come out, you turn up Maxwell Avenue, you have to look a peep. If Rika come, they don't have no proper parking space for nobody at all.
How is peeping going to help you if the Rika come?
That's the thing. If you say Rika, you have to go for your vehicle. Try a movie, and they see when you have to go pay the money. So why they are collecting people money and them still not have proper parking space?
Well, Dr. Davis has a budget problem, you know, so.
But them need to do something about that because of cost we
he needs as much taxes as he can get.
No, I'm telling you, it is very, very bad. It is very bad, you know.
You live in Jamaica, you know, sir.
No, I'm born and grown, I never leave here, you know, sir.
Yes, well.
You know, but the thing is, we can do better. We can do better. Instead of do everything for ourselves alone, we can unite and do things better.
Well.
You know, that's all people for doing, just unite and help each other. But the more say, alright, you have park, you have come there and you see them tow your vehicle. And when you go down go get the wrecking fee, and them see when you have to go pay the money. That is unfair. That is totally unfair. For we the man who are going to go spend money and pay to get your things. At the same time when you got them tow your vehicle.
Yeah.
That is unfair. You go in a transport order to the business, you know, and yes. Anyway, the lady just chip in and tell me. So, Mr. Perkins, keep up the good work.
The lady tell you what?
So, may I 1 minute leave.
Oh.
So, may I beg you keep up the good work and God bless you. Yes, sir?
All right. All the best to you. Good. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Mr. Perkins.
Yes, Mom.
I have a little problem I don't know if you could help me with.
What is that?
I need your advice. A friend of mine got locked up downtown about 3 weeks ago. The police said that he had stolen parts on his vehicle.
Stolen parts?
Yes, parts.
On his vehicle?
Yes. And the owner for the vehicle, the stolen parts that he has on his vehicle, a car was stolen somewhere uptown, and the man pointed out his car and said that those parts on his car belongs to him. Now they have him locked up for over 3 weeks now to do ID parade to see if he's any of the guys who actually robbed the man's car. And over 3 weeks, every time they say that he's supposed to do ID parade, they put it off. He's supposed to do it today, the lawyer turn up again. None of them turn up to do the ID parade. Can you give me some advice what to do?
Well, why doesn't the lawyer go to court?
He went there down to today.
To the court?
Oh, no, he said he went over by there.
No, to take the matter to the court and ask for a writ of habeas corpus.
Pardon me?
There's an action that they can bring in the courts, right? Asking for a writ of habeas corpus. But you notice that nothing of the kind has happened in the murder of Mr. Wilmot, right? No foreigners have been detained. You notice that?
Yeah.
wouldn't have, they would have to have evidence to charge them.
Yes.
Right? But when they're dealing with the local niggers, they can do all of that. Lock him up for 3 weeks.
They lock him up, and every time he's supposed to do the ID parade, no police, nobody turn up.
But I don't know how.
Huh?
I mean, if I give out my car to a garage to be fixed, right? And the car comes back to me, and parts had to be found, and so on, and I pay for the parts. And then a policeman sees my car and says, or somebody points out that I don't know how that is done, because how do you come to examine the man's car to find that and to claim that
precisely how them know that the parts on his car is from a vehicle that was stolen?
Hold on just a moment. Okay, thank you very much. Back on land. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Perkins. Yeah, I just need to know exactly what to do about this matter. Because I don't really understand about it, and it's me trying to help him to get out, so I don't know what to do.
Well, I think that he has a lawyer. Well, I should have expected that, I don't understand how they can just look at the part and know that part came off of this man's car. I don't know. I don't know whether the part has a serial number on it. But do you know the serial numbers of all the parts in your car?
Nobody know that, and you can. That is not the matter, Mr. Perkins.
I don't know how they arrive at that.
You can go anywhere and buy used parts and put on your vehicle. So that could never be the case. And to get this thing over and done with them, just have him in there and no ID parade, and then just have him lock up same way.
Yes. But there is a process, Mom. I don't know why the lawyer hasn't suggested this. There is a process wherein by which they can go to the court to ask for a writ of habeas corpus, right?
Yes.
And you might suggest that to them.
Well, maybe I have to go suggest it to him then. Maybe I have to go suggest it to him then, because him keep waiting on the ID parade and him keep telling him it.
Yes, well, I mean, the police can't take forever to hold an ID parade and keep somebody locked up in the meantime. Or at any rate, they're not supposed to, but as you know, in this country, the law is not a shackle. So they can do anything.
Boy, I tell you, this whole system is so corrupt.
Well, that is the case.
The policeman that is supposed to be handling the case, him not turning up, him not calling the lawyer, he's in no formal dialogue with the lawyer so that he can know whether they postpone it or not. When the lawyer turn up, no ID parade, no one is there. No one care to explain to him.
I don't know. I don't know. I wonder that the lawyer hasn't taken some action in connection with it.
He said that he's going over to the court to talk to somebody over there. Don't know.
To do what?
He said that he's going to the court.
I see. Well, maybe that is what he has in mind. All right.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
I hope so. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm calling about this thing that Mr. Roger Clark came up with the other day.
Mr. Roger Clark did what?
Mr. Roger Clark with the World Cup the other day.
World Cup?
Yeah.
What about World Cup?
Yeah, with the farmer, we come out to the farmer the other day and said that the farmer, the local lettuce, have been senior night. After so many years, we have been planting the local lettuce, and then as the World Cup count, now we come to say that our local lettuce have been senior in it.
What does that have to do with the World Cup?
Yes, but after the World Cup, the farmer doesn't get any support from the World Cup. And they bring down their foreign goods from abroad. And we have our local lettuce here have to have it in the field, rotting down and burning, spoiling the same way. And
So
it's
what,
the first time
I mean,
I ever hear that he said that
but who is it? Who, you have been you've been growing lettuce for some time.
Yes.
And you weren't selling your lettuce to Mr. Roger Clark.
I was selling my lettuce to the restaurants and the hotels them.
Yes. So what has happened? The restaurants and hotels have suddenly stopped buying your lettuce?
Yes, because they bring down their foreign one.
Oh.
So our local one cannot sell.
Uh-huh. Now why are they choosing to buy the foreign ones?
But because he come out with the impression that our local lettuce having the signal in it.
No, I don't think Mr. Roger Clark could have said. And if I were buying lettuce from you for months and years,
yes,
and I found your lettuce good, then I don't think that Mr. Roger Clark saying that would cause me to stop buying from you.
But that's the reason why we have so much local lettuce spoiled off, especially in Mesa River. If you come down to Mesa River now, and in Clarendon, and see the amount of local lettuce we have spoiled off in the field,
yes,
you would say something else.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the cause of that would be. Why would if people were buying your lettuce and finding the price good and the quality good,
right?
Why would they want to stop buying it to import lettuce from abroad?
But they bring down the imported lettuce and bring it down at a lower cost at our own.
Oh, well, if it is costing them less to buy the foreign lettuce, then I can understand why they do that.
But the impression that
but what would that have to do with Mr. Roger Clark saying something about snails?
But that's what I said. He should never come out with something like that.
Well, I don't know. I didn't hear him say it.
I hear him, man.
You heard him?
I heard him say
that your lettuce had snail in it?
He said our lettuce, the local lettuce, having snail in it.
Oh?
So they don't do that. Using it for the World Cup.
Well, is it true or is it not true?
Pardon?
Is it true that the local lettuce has snail in it?
About Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
Our local lettuce that we grow in the field, right? We have to buy pesticide to use to get away the snail from it.
Uh-huh.
Right? Now, when you buy this, when they buy our lettuce for so long, our lettuce, when they use it, they wash it, remember, and something like that, just put it in the dishes like that. It has properly look after. You understand?
Uh-huh.
So I don't see why, after so many years, they have been using our lettuce, and it come down to the World Cup now, where the farmer should get something out of what they plant. He come out with this bad impression that our lettuce having snail in it.
When did he say that? And where did he say that?
He come out with it on TV, man.
On TV?
Yes, man, I hear him.
When was that?
He come out with that 2 weeks before the World Cup. I hear him say it. I don't hear Mr. Orius Daly say anything about it. And in his constituency is where we have more lettuce and cabbage, foxfly, and those stuff like that plants.
Uh-huh.
You understand? So we should not, it wasn't.
Well, I don't know, sir. Like I find it very strange that you're telling me two different things. You're telling me that the people have stopped buying your lettuce because of something that Mr. Clark said. But on the other hand, you're telling me that the people are bringing in the foreign lettuce at a lower price, lower cost to themselves. Eh?
And bringing it at a lower price.
Yes.
And they come out with a bad impression on it as well.
Yes, but hold on. If they can get a good quality lettuce at a lower price than you are selling them at, then I see no reason why they should be waiting for Mr. Clark to tell them about sale. In any event, hold on. If they have been using your lettuce for months and possibly years, and not finding that it has snails in it, then why should Mr. Clark saying that cause them to stop buying it?
Yes, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, sir.
All along, these people have been using our lettuce, and it does not have a problem with it.
Yes. Did they find snails in it?
But snail always has to be in the local lettuce.
Oh, snails always have to be in the local lettuce?
Always in it.
Why?
Because it grows in the field, Mr. Perkins.
Oh. I follow you. So what Mr. Clark said is true?
Yeah, what he said is true, but at the same time, that don't have anything to do with it.
How?
Because people always use it. And they always, when we bring lettuce to the hotel, we always look after the lettuce before we bring it there. Wash it in the crate. And we pack it in the crate and go to the hotel and stuff like that. When you go there, you don't have anything like that again because you already look after it in the field already.
I follow you.
You understand? And when you see you have to buy one bag of 16, 18 sale or $1,700, and you plant your crop and it go down like that, it make no sense for our work again.
Yes, I understand.
And that's what we are depending on.
Yeah?
That is what we inclined and depending on. It's farming we depend on. We don't have anything else to depend on. We don't depend on government if we have a farm or anything. It's just a crop that we plant. We don't get no help from government.
Yes.
You understand what
yes, I understand.
So when we especially when we plant with stuff. You understand? Because them send us to plant it and then all of a sudden now they come out with that. That should never happen.
Well, I don't know, sir. I don't know whether you heard Mr. Clark properly. I must try and get in touch with him and find out what he said. All right?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We take a break. We come back shortly. Okay. Thank you very much. Back online. Hello?
Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Good afternoon to you, Mom.
I'm calling this program to seek some help for my sick mother. She's a cancer survivor and a heart patient. Where we are living, we get it to buy through the Ministry of Housing. Because I have to stop from work to take care of her because she have nobody else but me. The place get run up into bankruptcy. And I'm asking...
Which place?
The place that I bought from Ministry of Housing, the piece of land. I owe 128,000 on it, and tomorrow is the deadline date for me to carry in 30,000, Mr. Perkins. Mr. Perkins, I don't know where to get it from because she's sick. Every money I get I have to buy her medication. From last week, she's not on no medication. It's just coming like I feel like just walking into a car, Mr. Perkins.
No, don't do that.
For some help.
That don't make sense.
Yeah.
Why don't you go? Is this to the ministry?
No, I went into them last week and them said because I was paying so bad, they want 30,000 that they could hold back the land for, because they're going to action it.
They're going to act on it?
Yeah.
So they're not prepared to give you an extension?
No, Mr. Perkins. Them give me 1 week extension already, and I was to plead to the lady to give me.
1 week?
Yeah. And Mr. Perkins, she's a blood pressure patient, and she keep on considering it on it, and it keeping her raising up the pressure. Yeah, I'm listening.
Huh?
Yes, I'm listening.
No, I'm just wondering what to suggest to you.
Mr. Perkins, I don't know what to do. It's from Tuesday. The both of us eat some cooked food, and until now we don't eat anything. I can't sleep. She don't sleep. We have no help.
Boy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what you do.
Yeah.
Hold on. Somebody will speak to you. You give them your name and a telephone number.
Yes.
All right?
Okay, Mr. Perkins.
Okay. Okay, we're going to read some email again now.
Mr. Perkins, this is a letter which has been edited to remove the names and certain accusations in order to broadcast portions of it. It claims to be from the concerned citizens of Jonestown, Angola, Arnett and Craigtown. Dear Mr. Perkins, we wish to bring these sad stories to the attention of yours and the Jamaican public. There's an ongoing feud in Jonestown for the past 3 years, which has now cost the community more than 200 lives and displacement of thousands of residents. Waiting to be buried now are 7 persons. 2 were just buried at Dovecot on Sunday from the jungle side, top jungle side and Jonestown. The persons yet to be buried are Dwayne Alcott, Don from Angola, Bimbo or Welsh from Texas, Peach's brother, Havana, Al Mullings, who was visiting his father in Top Jungle and killed by drive-by, Rastaman, Pegasus, Old Lady, Top Jungle, and Starvender, Septimus Street. 2 weeks ago, Mr. Charles Johnson from Angola was buried at Dovecot. And here I am not taking in the 10 lives in the past month. The MP says he does not know what is causing this or what is going on. Mr. Perkins, the war is between Top Jungle and Jonestown versus Angola and Craigtown. They are fighting for control of benefits from the Jonestown redevelopment project worth billions. A contract was given out to build houses behind Charlie Smith, and that caused a war. No war could go on. So the JDF ended up completing those units. Mr. Perkins, do you remember a man who was shot inside a sports complex in that area?
Some years ago.
Some months, weeks.
Months ago. Yes.
Weeks. Mr. Perkins, we are calling upon the police and the MP to look into our plight. We are decent citizens. We don't want anybody taking any sides. Justice must be given left, right and center. We are calling on Mr. Mark Shields to come in and impartially take a look at what is going on. We need someone who is aware of things the MP says he doesn't know. Mr. Perkins, it's a head-for-head situation going on. The Don from Angola was killed last week in Bull Bay, and retaliation was taken, wherein an old lady and a star vendor were killed. Mr. Perkins, innocent people are being caught in the crossfire of their war. Since the war started, about half a dozen taxi men, even the president of the Jonestown Taxi Association was killed.
Oh, hell.
The only time this war got a little slack was when Mr. Mark Shields detained certain people.
When it became what?
When Mr. Mark Shields detained a certain number of people. We are asking him to do so again.
Well, I don't know how that...
This war is being funded by persons with money, because almost every night you can hear the shots firing from M16, AK-47, Stinger rifle, 9mm and shotgun. These rounds are not cheap, and we do not produce them in Jamaica. We are the comrades who love our community and take no side with criminals. We are from Jonestown, Top Jungle, Benbow Street, Stinger, and from Ramsey Road, Angola, Craigtown, Zimbabwe. P.S. Add 4 new deaths to the figure of 10, since they now killed Bimbo father and his sister. Bimbo father is a friendly taxi driver. Mr. Perkins, the people down here that is doing the wrongs is afraid of soldier, especially on foot.
That's it?
Yep.
Boy, what I want to know is why the police seem incapable of taking decisive action in that area. I don't want to see them doing to that area anything remotely resembling what they've done to Tivoli. But I mean, this thing has just been going on and on and on, and they seem to have no idea what to do about it. And people in the area seem to have an idea who and what is behind the and it is not entirely disconnected from politics. I don't know, very, very strange and very sad.
Dear Mr. Perkins, I cannot believe Kingston Technical gets so bad. My name is Diane Brown. I attended the school from 1979 to 1983. And believe me, sir, discipline was at its highest. You could be thrown out of class for chewing gum while a class was in session. And I'm serious, Mr. Perkins. Teachers were respected, and any sort of negative behavior towards any teacher was taken seriously and could result in suspension and expulsion. Mr. Jasper Ray was a headmaster at that time, and you trembled at the sight of him. We respected him. We respected all teachers. Mr. Perkins, I now live in the United Kingdom, and it is the same thing going on here, if it's not worse. Teachers can be knocked down to the ground for talking to an unruly student.
We're in the United Kingdom?
Yes. What do we do? It's from London.
Yes, well, I don't know. I didn't know of that going on in the United Kingdom, but certainly, I mean, as I said earlier, I mean, I don't see why anybody should be surprised at that kind of thing happening in our schools. That kind of anarchic behavior going on in our schools when it is rampant in our society. At all levels.
Mr. Perkins, the government obviously miscalculated, as they do everything else, the impact of hosting cricket and its expected attendant benefits. Well, as it turned out, we have achieved a negative impact from this venture. But from this venture.
Oh.
But we should take care lest we are found to be gloating in the midst of the adverse publicity. We don't want to lose our objectiveness and our credibility. Mr. Perkins, the courts in Jamaica have a convention of dealing with carnal abuse. Mr. Perkins, recently there was this man who had relations with the minor, even while he was on trial for earlier having relations with her.
Yes.
The evidence presented is of a romantic involvement rather than a violent assault. This usually means that the girls testify in defense of the men.
I don't know about that.
And you will find members of their family saying, don't keep him in prison too long because he's going to marry her when she's old enough. Mr. Perkins, I have known of cases like this. That is why certain experienced policemen don't bother to file charges when these things happen.
I don't know about that, so the law is the law. Anyway, we have to break now. We'll be back shortly. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. More email.
Mr. Perkins, here's an interesting permutation on the award of costs in legal matters. If you're sued in the U.S. and win in the courts, you may be awarded costs. However, Yes, they may award cost to you.
Oh.
However, they do not use present preset rates. Instead, you tell the court how much you owe. If the other side challenges this amount, they can be ordered to hand over the full schedule of their own legal fees to the court as a measure of what is reasonable. Translation, if you bring a big law firm and your dream team to abuse my rights and I get my little lawyer to defeat your case, I can then conspire with my lawyer to have you pay him more than I would ever have paid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is right, but it is one way to approach the problem. As for kleptocracy, the U.S. actually said that we may become, quote, a full-fledged kleptocracy.
Oh, I see.
I take that to mean that they think that we are already a kleptocracy,
but not
just not a full-fledged one.
Well, I don't know how much further you go to be a full-fledged. But as far as the legal fees are concerned, I mean, it seems to me that even in the case of that conspiracy with your lawyer, I mean, there may be cases in which lawyer and client are friends, and the lawyer agrees to do the work for the client for a fraction of what he could have charged. But in that event, if the court finds that costs are to be awarded, then the cost shouldn't be based upon the private arrangements of lawyer and client. They should be based upon what is reasonable.
Dear Mr. Perkins,
I don't see a problem there. Yeah.
Dear Mr. Perkins, thanks for the free station and thanks God for the work you're doing. I'm in Milwaukee with my husband and studying. I've been told that some drug addicts in Give Me a Bit in Clarendon took out my wooden window blades in a house I have there and are asking people to buy them. I got a message that he's going back to cut the steel bars and has been asking people to buy my furniture even before he breaks into my house. He has a vehicle waiting to transport my furniture. Why do people in Jamaica think that whatever you have, it is because you did something wrong to get it?
Yes, that is a...
And why do people buy stolen property, thus enabling people like this drug addict? I'm asking you, Mr. Perkins, to ask these people to leave my things alone.
Well,
the bit is in front of Vernon Field. In Clarendon. Mr. Perkins, did you know that Jamaica is on a list of 100 places to visit before a person's died? A person dies. Mr. Perkins, I have to say...
We have to take a break. Okay, thank you very much. We're back here online. That lady who wrote that email from the States about their house being vandalized, I suggest to her, we got in touch with the police in Clarendon. They tell me they have no information about anything like that going on. I suggest to her that we haven't got a specific address in Give Me a Bit, you see, so perhaps that is the problem. But we suggest that she put in a report to the police, because they might be able to help in this matter. Or certainly would be. Okay, hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello, yes, good.
Somebody said this morning something about your back or your shoulders being very broad. I think the brain, the box you have in there has a lot of grey matter, more than most of us have.
Are you serious?
What, sir?
Why do you think so?
Well, I think so. Because you are so knowledgeable in so many things.
I don't know about that.
I wish I knew you better so I could get a little to put in mind. So I'm asking you about...
when people come to me with that, I'm frightened, because I get the impression that this is a powerful brain working on me.
No, not at all. It's a truthful one. At least mine is.
Yes.
Anyway, so, withholding tax.
Yes.
When you're told that if you're a taxpayer, you should make returns. But some people don't at all. And when you do, you find you have this withholding tax and other things that I think it's trying to take away every little farthing you might have managed to save during a long lifetime. But what is a withholding tax really? What is its use? What the
withholding tax is, as I understand, an example of it is if you have money in the bank and earn interest on it.
Yes.
I believe the bank is obliged to withhold the relevant portion of it and pay it over to the government. I think there's some such thing in place, but that is the essence of a withholding tax. Is it?
Do they have an age limit for the persons who pay withholding tax?
Who pay withholding tax? I'm not sure. I'm not really au fait with it.
It was really told
up to date with the tax
system. I was really
system.
told recently that a person of my age, I must be the only person of that age paying withholding tax in Jamaica.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Well, maybe if that is so, then you ought to.
You see, I'm very old.
You're very old?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
You mightn't believe me age either.
You don't sound.
That's what everybody says.
You don't sound more than about 35, 30.
Oh, no. You're putting me down. Some other people have put me a little higher. Some have put me a little lower.
Eh?
So yes, some people have said that. Oh,
some have put you.
Like 18 and
some put you lower than that. I'm not surprised. Not surprised.
I'm much older than you. Just from the things you say from time, no less than 15 years old, older than you.
No less than what?
15 years, or maybe a little less.
So what 12, do you think? What do you think I am? 20
older than you.
You think I'm 20?
You are what? 20?
Yes.
No. I know you. I know when I see your pictures. No.
You think I'm 20?
I think you are in the 70 bracket there now.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
I'm a youngster, man.
No, not quite so young. I have lived long enough to judge you.
I see what you mean.
Yes. And the things you say and the people you had to teach you and so on, I know from that.
I follow you.
I've lived long enough to know. Yes, that's why I asked you that, because somebody said they didn't think anybody else of that age was paying withholding tax in Jamaica.
I don't know. I am not an expert on this. I put that into the hands of cleverer people than I am.
Yes. The other thing is, income tax. At once. Up to about 2000, I think, or at least 1999. We didn't pay any income tax when we were pensioners.
Yes.
But they're taking out the income tax well now. I find it, you're getting, 17,000 or so. And the income tax you have to pay is 1,300 and something.
Yes, well, Dr. Davis is desperate for money,
Yes, we should be putting the stocks long ago, but we'll stay there and put up with it.
He owes a lot of debt. The country owes a lot of debt. And the servicing of the debt is taking up more money than he is getting out of taxes.
And it's our fault, because soon after he got the ministry, he had said, I think it was the first speech, and I had a working TV at the time. He had said he feels his mother should have been the minister of finance.
Oh,
yes.
I have no doubt that she would have done a better job.
Yes, I feel so too. I had said
she could hardly have done a worse one.
Please?
I say she could hardly have done a worse one.
I don't see anybody else, not even me, could do worse than that. Yes, sir. That was really what I wanted to find out from the withholding tax, and to mention how we have to be taking. Some of us have worked so hard and really want to be able to just to enjoy life ordinarily, not big at all.
Yes, I know.
And then you have to look and be scrimping and scaling.
Let me tell you something, you see. This is not a country in which to grow old.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you.
You younger people listening to this, be warned.
Yes, sir. All right,
not a place in which to grow old.
Because I think it's time for you now.
Eh?
I said it's time for you to be off now. You're
Yes.
going off now.
Yes,
saying,
indeed.
have a good evening.
Okay, all the best to you. Okay, hello?
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Perkins.
Uh-huh.
I applied for a passport.
Yes.
Not passport, the birth certificate.
Birth certificate?
Yes.
Well, you have a problem.
The express service.
Uh-huh.
And it's 2 weeks now, and I would like to get it so I could send it with a bearer going away this weekend.
Yes.
And I'm trying to call the RGB for a long time, all day, and no one will answer the phone. I call all the offices in the book, even the country office, and no one is answering the phone.
They must be having a prayer meeting.
I don't know. So
Yes,
could you give me a number where I could call to reach them? Because I have to reach them.
I beg your pardon?
Because I have to reach them.
You have to?
I have to reach them today. So do you have a number where I could get them?
For the revenue, for the RGD?
Yes, because they're not answering the ones in the book.
Oh, well, just hold on a moment and I'll ask somebody to give you a number.
All right.
The number that we have, I don't know whether that is in the book or not. All right? Okay, hello?
Hello, yes.
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Mr. Perkins. Just wanted to bring back to the listeners' attention.
Will you speak up?
I just wanted to bring back to the listeners'
Speak up for me.
I said I just want to bring back to the listeners' attention the reports from Mr. Butch Stewart.
Oh, yes.
On the Sanders White House
Yes.
situation.
You're Mr. Mullings, are you?
No.
Oh, you sound like him.
No, I'm not as bright on Mr. Mullins. But I'm
yes,
just saying,
Mr. Butch Stewart made some remarkable statements.
And that the PAC has ordered the UDC to go in and correct. And this is the same hotel that they tried to tell us that we got value for money. The country got value.
Yes, he said no value for money.
But they tried to tell us that
the damn hotel is falling apart.
The hotel is falling apart, and
Yes.
we're still spending on the hotel.
And presents a danger.
Saying to the people of Jamaica, what do we do with a government like this?
Well, I don't know, sir.
Can we trust anything that a government like this says?
Well,
who in their right minds could really put back a government like this in
well,
power? The government lacks integrity and honesty from top to bottom.
I don't know. I found it remarkable. Mr. Stewart was saying that,
and he has no
that
reason
falling
to lie.
concrete
And there are evidence
presented
up
a
there.
danger
Yes.
to guests and workers in the hotel.
Oh my God!
What the
This
hell?
is a shame. It is a total disgrace.
Yes, and he
The
said that
country's money.
he said that the over expenditure continues and may well.
God.
But they're claiming that the contractors have a responsibility for fixing and funding.
I hope so.
These repairs, you know.
The other thing, Mr. Perkins, can you believe the situation with that check down by the post office? That up to this day,
$100,000 US.
that up to this day, nobody has seen it fit to call in the fraud squad
Yes, indeed.
to investigate such a blatant, a blatant case.
$100,000 US.
It is of no concern to know anybody in the government, Mr. Perkins.
Yes, apparently not.
My God, who are these people that say they are governing us?
Well, we're in a full-fledged kleptocracy, sir.
Who are these people? They are all about themselves and their friends. How can a check come for the country and is encashed, taken away and encashed, and nobody can account? I don't mind. This is mad.
There has to be, for a check to be cashed, there has to be a signature on
Somebody has to sign for the check. That don't take 2 days to find out.
And
it doesn't take 2 days.
And
oh my God, I don't know where we're going. I don't know.
In Jamaica, in the Jamaican banking system, if a check is made out to a company, like at the telephone, the post office, postal agency would be regarded as such.
Mr. Perkins, the private sector has an interest in this.
Hold on now. It is treated as a, what you call it?
I don't know what you call it.
It cannot be cashed, right? You have to lodge it to an account.
Oh, it's a pay only. A cross check.
Yes, a cross check.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how this was cashed in the United States.
But what I'm saying, the DPP...
Anyway, I'm sorry. We're out of time, eh? We're out of time. We can talk about this another day, hopefully. Okay, that brings us to the end of Perkins Online for today. We'll be back, though, we hope, tomorrow. Usual time and place. We look forward to your company. So